we need all hands on deck.
All hands on deck.
We need all hands on deck.
We need education without economics.
Live now?
Yeah.
Any way you can check?
We need education without economics.
Yeah, right.
We need economics without entertainment.
Come on. Yeah.
No, these are all institutions.
Yes.
Facts.
That need to be established, and we need to recognize who the key players are and support them and get behind them.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But of course, there has to be transparency in these institutions, especially if these institutions are quote unquote for the ambiguous quote unquote people that you guys keep telling me about. So,
So we gonna
what are we talking about here?
the live stream is picking back up right now.
Okay, live streamers, salute family. For those that got left off, Red, just to recap what Red was saying about it, we was giving you a 7-day salute. We're going to give y'all 2 charges, and Red, you can further build on that. What I heard was people be passionate about their creativity in the first 7 days, push forth their creativity. That's something that you're going to be doing.
Yes.
And also, you mentioned another word. You said, it started with a C. You said creativity.
What I'm saying is,
yeah,
creativity and ownership.
Okay, there we go. Right there. Right.
Not creativity and giving away your creativity and becoming what is known as a modern day slave.
Right.
You understand?
Right.
Because there's some. They talk about Libya. There's some slavery taking place locally.
Wow. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. That's right.
A lot of situations that are out here can be deemed slavery because a definition of slavery was given, and it fits a lot of things that I see these days.
Like we said, once we take the emotionalism of chattel slavery out of it,
Right.
we're not talking about the abuse and the degradation and the subjugation of force and power
Right.
over another person,
Right.
Subjugating. We're not
Yes.
talking about that. We're speaking about slavery as an economic system, as I explained in the LeVar Ball clip. You know what I'm saying? If the coach is making $11 million and the player is making $0,
Come on.
Not that.
but receiving food, clothing, and shelter, that's the same thing that the slaves received.
Wow.
Food, clothing, and shelter.
Facts.
And
Facts.
that was paid for by their sweat equity. So they didn't even get it for free. They paid for that. Same way these players ain't getting that for free.
Yeah.
They paid for that.
Pay for that. Yeah.
With their sweat equity.
Right.
And they made the school $1 billion.
Billion. Crazy.
What are we talking about
Yeah,
here?
is that
Once
building
again,
up? Is that
that-
build up?
that ain't slavery.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
Y'all don't get it?
that ain't cotton picking.
So building on what Red was saying, Blue, what will be your 2 to build on this on this pyramid?
Coherence. Okay? I need the family to be coherent. All right? To be more symbol literate. As we were talking when the feed went down. There were so many things that the universe showed you
Yes.
in real time, responded, it's corresponding with you in real time.
Wow.
You had a very intimate relationship with the universe in this cycle. It was right here on you.
Facts.
Like this. You failed to see it for what it was. Even when those amongst you came and showed it to you, you know what I'm saying? You were skeptical. You was critical.
Wow.
You didn't want to quote unquote believe. You know, you can't discern what you feel. Right? But you go for things that seem literally. That's not necessarily the goal.
Facts.
And then you end up with fool's gold, and then you and your feelings at the end of the year, talking about what people don't do. But let's talk about the intimate relationship that you have with the universe. The fact that the universe every day is conspiring for you to get a W.
Facts.
And you keep missing the layup. You Pat Ewing.
On the rim.
You Pat Ewing in the playoffs. Like, come on. You cannot continue to miss all these layups that the universe is sending your way, because you could be all the way up right now if the coherence was a little bit tighter. So I like to attribute that to a lack of what it is that we're not doing individualistically,
Right.
you know, as it pertains to how we could connect closer to the earth. Because if the universe is corresponding with us and we're missing that, that means to me that we don't have an earth connection. And like I said in the last video, because we don't practice grounding at all, right? We don't live on earth. We live 1 inch to 2 inches off of earth. If I cumulatively, right, added up the amount of time, let's say I'm 40, if I could cumulatively added up the days of my life that I spent with my bare foot on the earth, on the dirt. I ain't talking about the concrete. On the dirt. I ain't talking about asphalt. I'm talking about the dirt. It would be 1 year out of them 40 years.
Wow.
One. Accumulative. Okay? Wow. And most of it probably was spent at a beach.
Wow.
Because we don't go hiking. We didn't, we ain't camping. And when we got
Tim's on.
Yeah, we got CrossFit, you know what I'm saying? We got ACGs, you know what I mean? We spent a lot of money to stay disconnected from planet Earth.
Wow.
Man.
Anything that you're standing on is plastic, rubber, wood, glass, you understand? Any of those things disconnects you from the electromagnetism of the earth. So we're not being charged from the earth. That's why we can have ideas, but we can't hold a spark as a people. It's like a flittering light bulb. It's never properly screwed in. We are not properly screwed in. That's how your nana was eating hog maw and living till she was 90 because she was on the earth. And the earth is what breaks up the inflammation. Post 1960, the fact that we have not been on earth, the inflammation and all diseases associated with it have spiked.
Wow.
And particularly in our community because we invest so much into having rubber soles. I got soul power. I'm super bad. Okay? Who you think they selling $200 plus $300 sneakers to? I be in everybody's neighborhood. White boys ain't wearing that. You understand? So we put such an investment. When you meet youngsters, what do they do first before they even talk to you?
Look at your feet.
They look at your feet.
Yeah. Look right at your feet.
All right? So they're investing what's coming from out of your soul in their soul, right? He got the right souls on because I don't want to hear what his soul got to say if his souls don't check out.
Look, my soul go. Hold up.
His soul go. Right? He learned the game. He
learned the game early.
He learned the game early.
My soul's gold. Like
he would have got his
I let him see him. They listen now.
That's right.
And like I said, I would the second part that I would say is learn the breathing techniques along with we got to spend more time grounding. So the next retreat that I do, that we're involved with, is going to be getting the family into nature so we could spend time off grid, off the computers, off the devices, and we could ground ourselves. You know what I'm saying? And we could get into the breathing techniques. I'm also going to do I have a private Facebook group where I'm going to be doing the workouts and stuff. That's going to start the top of the year, January 1st.
So you on the first, you on the one with it.
Yeah, Body Energetics 1. It's a private Facebook group. You know what I'm saying? We're going to do the live stream, breathing technique and workouts and everything else every morning. You can send me a request there. You know what I mean? It's going to be
spell
a
it out
feed.
so
Yeah.
the right
BODYELECTRIC1. Body Electric 1. It's a private Facebook group. You could go to the group now. It'll bring you through a landing page. You send me the request. You pay the fee.
Add it to the group.
Add it to the group. We'll see you Monday morning. We're going to get it shaken. So nobody can have any more excuses about, I don't know what to do. I don't know how to do it.
Right.
I need help. I don't know what to eat. I don't know this. I don't know that. We're going to show you. But you know what I learned from listening to all of these discussions that took place in these last few days? If you have something, a knowledge base, right? Because what your mother does, what my mother does, what Sadie does, you know what I'm saying? They get paid for what they know.
Right.
That's their service.
Right.
They're showing and teaching people what they know, not what they think or what they believe. They're past that.
Right.
Yeah, they passed
You know what I'm saying?
They
Practitioners.
know. Yeah,
They know.
They
Practitioners, yeah.
You should get paid for what you know, especially if it involves the improvement of people's lives.
Improvement
You
of
understand?
people's lives. Love
Fact.
it. Yes, fast. Yeah.
Improvement of people's
Social
lives.
what?
Social capital.
Come on.
That's where we
That's
headed. That's my first
Social
8 days.
capital.
Yeah. So get into your social capital.
Get into it, yeah. So,
You know what I mean?
once we do those things, once you connect to the earth, once you become an earthling again, then your coherence is going to go up. Once you magnetize your body, once that electricity is flowing, you're going to be coherent of the signs.
Electric
You're not
fluid.
always going to be picking up your phone and inboxing us and asking us what this means.
Right.
We have to stop that. We are in an electric age. The information age is an electric age.
That's right.
So it's time to electrify yourself so you can start magnetizing this information to you.
Yep.
Facts.
And
how
you
it
could
comes.
start becoming the Dakotas and telling us
Yeah.
what you done broke down and deciphered and stuff like that.
Feedback.
Facts.
Feedback. Yeah.
All right.
To
What about
add
you?
Add to my brothers, I would, in honor of our two, Freddie Punego and I share to our elders who passed, beloved Dr. Sabi and beloved Dick Gregory, I would say, in the spirit of Dr. Sabi, in his first 7 days, reactivate on your electrical foods. Make a commitment, and however that shows up for you, and whatever formation that shows up for you, reactivating that. Make a wellness commitment to your electrical foods. Dr. Sabi talked about how mucus is the main form of disease and blockage, and so the electrical foods are the antithesis of the mucus, and so the more you have that inside your body, you're on the one. So again, Mofedi Punego and Ashe to Dr. Sabi's spirit. May we activate on his spirit, right? The next charge would be from our beloved Dick Gregory. Talks about, he really stressed in his last, well, he's always in his whole career talked about this, but I saw a lot of videos accumulating the last year of his life, talked about the importance of hydration. Making sure we get our water. We are water beings. Our bodies are 60 to 70% water.
Absolutely.
We're on a water majority planet.
Absolutely.
And so when we're out of tune a lot of times with ourselves, is because we're dehydrated. A lot of times when we overeat, is our body just wants some water, and sometimes we think we have to have solid food to fill that void. And you find yourself, if you just drink a 8 ounce, 16 ounce, or 32 ounce glass of water within that same hour that you feel that you're hungry, what happens is your stomach will go into alignment, your glands will go back into alignment, your body will go back into alignment, and you feel that you don't even have to really overeat. You know what I'm saying?
Subside that the hunger pain.
Yes. So I would say definitely make sure you stay on top of your hydration, because most times the disease formulates in our body when we're dehydrated.
Yes.
And so that would be my two to add to the brothers.
Yes.
And everything we're talking about, family.
Like the brother said, commit yourself this first 7 days to pour in your 32 ounces of water. So when you get up, that's the first thing you do.
Yeah.
It should be water and breathing exercises. You know what I'm saying? I watched a video the other day of a European named Wim Hof. Have anybody heard of him?
No. Talk about it.
Wim Hof is they call him a superhuman. He hiked Mount Everest in his shorts.
Oh, wow.
You know what I'm saying? He holds the Guinness Book World Record for submerging himself in ice water, waters with the ice cubes in it and everything for 2 hours.
Oh, shit.
So through breathing, he is showing you how to activate your adrenaline. He's able to heat his body up from the inside, insulate himself from all outside extremities. This is super consciousness. You feel me? This is super consciousness. The most powerful thing that you have access to, the most powerful thing on this planet that you have access to, you come with, and that's your breath. You can take yourself in all sorts of transdimensional states. Every goddamn drug that they got on the market, you can induce yourself to do that. You can become superhuman. You can do all of these things through your breathing. You know what I'm saying? Even when we in that gym, it's not the muscles, it's the diaphragm. It's your breathing is lifting those weights.
That's right.
So we're gonna get into the breathing, but the water in the morning, 32 ounces. You know what I'm saying?
Open the way.
Yeah, open the way. There's all sorts of scientific studies that explain why you should be doing that in the morning. So, and some people do it with the key lime. You feel me? Some people do it with the key lime. I would say do it with super mega greens.
Put some mega greens in it, some key lime in there, put some colloidal silver. Listen, you can charge your water up. Whatever rots with you, get that liquid activated in your body.
But
you know what I'm saying?
Do that and chart your first 7 days, meaning write things down about what your your hunger level. Y'all normally get hungry.
Make an assessment.
Make your assessment. You have to become your own study. You feel me? Right. You got to become your own experiment. Experiment on yourself for these first 7 days and see how the water therapy in the morning works for you in regards to your hunger throughout the day.
Powerful.
You know what I'm saying? In regards to, your sleeping patterns and your waking patterns. You feel me?
Dope.
So, yeah.
To add real quick, the brother Terry Crews, he talks about how he's got down to eating 1 meal a day, and how he was able to do that was he just hydrated more throughout the day. Like, so in the morning time, He drink,
Right time.
load up on the water, and then every hour, every hour and a half, he'll have it between 16 to 13 ounces of water, and he'll put like a little a key lime or lemon in it,
Right.
and then now before he knows, his body's already being sustained, and by the time he has his whole meal, he's already in place with that.
Yeah, I eat once a day now too, so I'm gonna look into what else, what the brother's saying, to see if I could get any extra tips.
Red, I think we should blast off, beloved. I think we got our computer lined up.
Yeah.
I think we can start our 2017. Take us.
All right, y'all ready?
What held our attention, Red? What held our attention the most this year?
Yes.
Is that upside down or? It's gonna,
So what
okay.
we're going to be doing, family, is we're going to be reading off of this presentation that was put together, but unfortunately we can't show you the screen and talk to you at the same time. So in the edits, when we upload this, you'll have all of the screens and whatnot.
Yeah.
So we're breaking down 2017. We're reviewing it.
2017.
We're talking about the news stories, the narratives, the conversations, the events that actually, had but not only had people's attention, but we're going to talk about certain narratives, certain, certain groups of events that are all related, and just, and build on it.
So,
You know
Red, what held our attention the most at the top of the year? Let's open up our slide.
Okay.
What had people's brains on charge the most
Every day.
every day?
Well, according to this article that we have in front of us, Twitter's #1 topic of 2017, you guessed it, Donald Trump. Okay, in a landslide, that is. They say in a landslide. Donald Trump dominated the headlines. Not only did he dominate the headlines, he dominated the conversation.
That's
He
deep.
dominated the narrative of his narrative was the most dominating narrative
In the world.
So whatever that narrative is,
Right.
it's telling you that was the most dominant narrative, meaning y'all, because everybody watches the numbers, right?
Right.
So his numbers was out the roof, unlike any numbers that you've ever seen. That's basically what they're saying. So his message and who he's programming, and at the rate in which he's programming them, and at the rate in which he's downloading all of these things into their subconscious, right? And he's enacting certain kind of rules and bills and laws and taking words out and making all of these plays, right? That if you were into any kind of athletic sports, especially hunger gaming or whatever they do, whenever they, get into the barbaric modes, you know what I'm saying? You would pay attention to the plays that the coach is making. And he's letting you know from 18 to 20, it's on and popping.
Wow.
We're going to have fun with this.
Wow.
So this whole year, you've seen the theatrics of a reality star playing his greatest role, right?
Deep.
But on the flip side of that, when you pay attention to the politics of what was taking place, he was lining you up.
Deep.
While you're waiting for the impeachment and you're hanging on to the theater of Trump,
Right.
he's
Mueller. Right.
yeah, him and Mueller. The only Mueller I know is Frank. What are you talking about?
Wow.
Only Mueller I acknowledge is Frank.
Wow.
While they was waiting for Mueller to put the cuffs on him, which is only Roman theater. It's opera. It's
Roman
only a
theater.
play. It's
Makes
theater.
sense. We in the theater.
You know what I'm talking
Okay.
about? It's only theater.
Wow.
We predicted this in Hitler 3.0. We will insert clips into this video as well.
I think it was real powerful. You just said Roman theater is because when they decided to do the whole Coliseum entertainment concept, the people were starting to raise up against the emperor.
The emperor.
And so they needed to get their attention away from
Who did they
raising
put in
up
there?
on the emperor and
Exactly.
create games and create things
Right.
to reinstate
Antoinette,
the
Freedom Cake.
right.
You feel me?
Yeah, when they start revolting.
So the reversal of Obama's policies took place in this Trump calendar year of 2017. The succession of
As predicted.
as predicted.
Yeah.
When I said he is his 44 twin,
Yes.
I said he twinned him.
This is true.
You know what I'm saying? Him being a Gemini, a twin in essence, and him being the 44th president, the 44th man to occupy that position
That's
because
it, yeah.
Grover Cleveland did it twice. So he's also the 44 twin. I said his whole policy and presidency is about. He's the anti-hero to Obama. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
He
yes.
twinned him and
Twinned
he
him.
erased him like Akhenaten.
Yeah.
They scrubbed his name off of the
Same
wall.
shit, look
yeah,
at
same
that.
shit.
Yeah.
And when Obama came in, what did they say? They said he was
Put
Akhenaten.
his face right up to him. It's like,
So-
that's him.
Coherence,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
Look at that.
the stuff is kind
Quantum
of
entanglement.
simple. Like
Yeah.
Entanglement.
So, we had the whole Russian collusion thing, but through the
they
Russian,
learned a new word. Because people didn't know what collusion.
they
was.
had no idea what collusion. They thought it was collision. They just called Poppy to fix it, but it was collusion. It was something different. And the whole Russian scandal, Facebook ads that led to the op with the Black Activism page. What was the name? Blacktivist.
Blacktivist, yeah.
With the page Blacktivist being targeted and singled out as being part of the collusion.
Right. Then they hit you with BIE.
And then after that, you get introduced to the new narrative and the new directive. It's called the BIE, the modern day version of COINTELPRO. You know what I'm saying? Where Sessions acts like he doesn't even know what it is, which people laughed at, but that should be alarming. Because if he's acting like if he's like, I don't know what you're talking about, that means that's you know what I'm saying? It's one of two things could be going on. He really didn't know anything he never got no memo, and we all got the email. We always on the motherfucker, when niggas put you on a list plus 789.
The group, and
it'd be like,
Annoying ass group text.
and it's always some negative shit that they make go viral. Always a hanging, a lynching, you know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? A 3 football NFL guys or something from Beard Gang. And they just, it's crazy.
Also, he made the word fake news very popular.
Not only fake
Added it to the
news,
lexicon.
not only the word fake news, but the concept of fake news, meaning trust nothing that remember, he's working for a group of people, white fragilicists, who are aware of the rising consciousness, who were looking at the metrics that some of these people that we all are familiar with in this community are putting up.
Right.
Understanding the appeal by reading the metrics, by reading the big data, by reading the algorithm, the Black Twitter algorithm.
Oh, yeah.
But when they realize that there's something bigger than the Black Twitter algorithm, you understand? How is the Black, and we're going to go deeper into that, you know what I mean, about the two worlds, the two alternate realities that have been created in that world and the world of what is known as consciousness with the woke, or what I would call Black Twitter. Don't even say Black Lives Matter.
AKA
it comes from
AKA
Black Twitter.
the Wokians. I call them the Wokians.
Yeah, it comes out of Black Twitter. So Black Twitter is the foundation. That's where everything grows. That's the Tetri dish. You know what I'm saying? But somehow through the word of Hotepers, somehow through the terminology that was introduced with the degradation with the slander and the Hotepers,
Right.
that fed this dichotomy where there's a
It fed
national.
it. Yeah.
You understand? Now that whole community stands for making fun of a community in which not only came before them, is that had, you know what I mean, has
They get the majority of their talking points from to begin with.
I'm just saying the minute talking points.
Right.
You know what I mean? I mean, it's crazy. So
crazy.
we're gonna
It's crazy.
get into that. But fake news and everything is mixed into that. He's allowing them to rewrite history, because with fake news came alt facts. So they're alternating facts. By alternating facts, everybody want to talk Mandela effect. They're creating a whole new reality in your face through this advent of what is known as
they live
digital.
side by side.
It's
And we don't have to go to the unidentifiable quantum realm of things. No, they exist side by side right here.
now.
Woo!
Yeah, but look, they got Game of Thrones. They have video games that speak to that. They have movies that are speaking to that. They have all of these things that are speaking to the idea, to the imagination, making like the same people who watch The Purge, they're seeing that reality become a reality. They're seeing the steps that it's taken to bring them closer to that reality. That programming has already been put in place. There's many different damn near everything that was being done this year via that administration was programming. Right?
Which brings me to
Remember,
you said programming. It brings me to your next
slide. Yes.
Because that you just said it programmed. And your next slide, that's what exactly
White
happened.
Supremacy 2.0.
Woo!
So this year we will introduce. This is the breakout year for white supremacy. This is white supremacy's
this is their coming out party.
coronation. This is their inauguration into global
being part of the
politics.
global lexicon.
Being part of the global lexicon, whereas it was a part of the global lexicon in private. But it wasn't spoken of, it wasn't uttered, it wasn't put in the press. This year, based off of a ritual.
Ritual.
It didn't just come out of anywhere. It was done during the time of the oncoming of the solar eclipse.
Fact.
It did not reach yet, but the buildup for the great American solar eclipse was in the minds and the hearts of many people around the world. Right? Then people began to bring forward the information of the not only the magnificence of this, but the liberation friendly aspect of that date.
It tied into the Nat Turner rebellion, which logistically is not too far from this location.
Facts.
Oh,
right?
you're talking about
from Virginia.
Virginia.
Yeah.
So the movie just came out.
Turner,
Wow. Right.
The clips popped off when he did the rebellion.
Facts.
You understand? Mm-hmm. Locality wise, it wasn't too far. You know what I mean? So they're on the same grid as that.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
And remember, it's about the statue too. The statue plays prominent in the ritual.
In the ritual, yes, right. Yeah,
that plays that's the token. That's the you know what I mean.
And
that plays
what they call the
significant.
path of totality. You know where the eclipse was actually coming through. I don't think it hit that part of Virginia per se, but it hit South Carolina. You know, so you're talking about the two places where slavery really was popping.
Exactly.
You feel me? Mm-hmm. So the narrative.
And then what do we see later on down this calendar year, or later on down the line? You see slavery in Libya reintroduce itself.
Ooh, look at that.
Slavery in the Barbary Coast. Slavery in Carthaginian in Carthage.
You see slavery in Tripoli.
Tripoli
was the first nation to recognize, right? Mm-hmm. Well, in the Navy, they have the songs From the Shores of Tripoli.
Yeah. Montezuma.
So you got Morocco and you got Tripoli and what have you, and both of these particular nations had a very vital. They don't teach us in history class, family, but this is not conspiracy. You could Google it. Both of these countries or these states had a very key role to play with the recognizing of the United States of America initially, like how Israel is trying to get recognized in the UN, and that will make them official status. Morocco or Tripoli, either one, but they were both part of that Moorish Empire at that particular time. They were the ones that recognized, you know what I'm saying, America, which had a very small navy at that time.
Real quick,
but they were also at war.
Wait. Israel's not recognized by the United Nations? It's not recognized? Israel? It's not recognized by the United Nations?
No, they're talking about Jerusalem being the capital.
And that would make them...
They're not recognizing that.
Oh, they're not recognized. Okay.
Not at all.
Just real quick.
Remember, the whole argument in the UN and globally is about the two-state recognition.
Okay, right.
Yeah.
So if we recognize you, yes, we have to recognize Palestine as well as a state.
Right.
And politicizing them as states gives them whole different kind of leverage.
Oh,
you know what I'm saying? In the politics of theater. So that's what they're trying to keep, from happening.
Deep.
So we just revealed that the whole dominating thing of Trump being the most tweeted, the man on Twitter, trending topic
of the year, right?
So, as a result of not only him being a trending topic, but this surge in white supremacy, the charts are showing that this year it has surged in ways that it has never before. The online, the Twitter metrics on just the search for the word white supremacy, the joining of the groups. Remember, Charlottesville was a commercial. When I saw it in the morning, I was ironing my pants, getting ready to go to 2/5. The sister Joy AM, she was on TV talking. This was the night before I saw the torches, right? I'm like, okay, they on their ritual shit, right? The tiki torches. They was but they had the Spencer dude who's basically, you know, he's the new poster of that. You know what I mean? He's been created and they're through their media campaigns. So I'm seeing the thing. So then she's giving a commercial for the white supremacists. They're not reporting on what's about to happen later on. She's giving their Twitter handles. She's speaking about them, and you know what I'm saying? In glowing terms. You know, not in black Twitter terms. She's putting no sassiness into. You know what I mean? And this is Richard Spencer. Yeah, this guy. She's giving his doctorate and everything. Where he got his degree from?
Wow, like they make him a new rock star.
It was a commercial. Yeah. So I was like, yo, they're gonna catch a body. 2 police officers died that day. And Heather H. I forgot her last name, but her name is HH. That's white. That in their organization, HH is one of.
It's Heil Hitler.
It's Heil Hitler.
It's their symbolism, their terminology.
You understand?
They wear 88. They wear 88 as a code, and they wear HH.
They on code. So that was a ritual. 2 popo fell out the helicopter. Nobody said nothing about them. Did you ever see Trump give flowers to their family? How dare you not bring them up when speaking about this lady that got ran over? 2 popo died and there was an instance where they clapped at a brother. Wow. You know the brother who did the heat on the bird. There was this. I saw the video where the white boy clapped at him. Bang! And the popo was right there. So. That was a mass ritual, right? At the time, it wasn't on the day of the eclipse. It was in the energy of that solar eclipse to off balance what we were picking up with this whole revolutionary feeling. We were like, oh, it's on and popping. Everybody was beginning to get charged up about that. Then Baba Dick Gregory made transition and brought it right back. Because after Charlottesville, people was defeated and they was really scared. Yeah. They was avoiding that conversation. Barbershop. They just getting shape ups. You know what I mean? Dudes that used to get the whole beard and everything. Let me get a lineup. I'm in and I'm out. I don't even want to talk about this shit. I don't know what just happened. So you see this march in Europe. 60,000 nationalists marched in Poland.
Independence Day.
I told people Trump went to Poland and did a whole white power speech in Warsaw. He did an extreme white power speech and ignited them, turned them on, let them know that it's on and popping. He's lining the Russians up. He's lining these people up. 60,000 came out.
60,000, wow.
60,000. And you already know what they was talking about. It was Game of Thrones. You feel me? So hate groups are on the rise in the USA and all of this. And family, please, don't get fearful on us. You know what I'm saying? We're just giving you the news, the wrap up. It already happened. It's okay. We're giving you what already happened. This is just the facts as we're reporting them and in real time. So this report says in 2017, they only have 14 days where police didn't kill someone. So in the year of 2017, there were only 14 days out of that whole year where the police did not kill a citizen of the United States of America. Now, rest in peace to Eric Garner's daughter. I got to put that on record. You know what I'm saying? Erica Gardner. So they already did their psyops with the police killings in our community in about a 4-year span. That was from the years 2012, started in February at the All-Star game that weekend in right down the block from Orlando, which is Sanford, with Trayvon Martin and Zimmerman, who, by the way, is still alive. He's still functioning on Twitter. And that started the campaign. That started the quote unquote,
killing camp.
psyops that we see underway, the psychological operation, because it's a psyops. It put our people in a perpetual state of fear because you have to decide if the war is real or not. You have to decide if this is not the purge or not. That's up to you. That's how you take it in. Imagine the 2-year-olds who grew up only looking at a black man as president, or Obama. They grew into this world and that's all they knew.
Wow.
Right? All they knew is somebody with big ears, a wide nose, and a wife that's melanin is popping, and she's unapologetically melanin.
Right.
She's the queen god of the consciousness. You know what I'm saying? Like Michelle is, she's doing veganism. She's going in. She's working out,
making gardens in the White House,
gardens and all of that.
changing the public school food.
Then you start feeding them Trayvon. Trayvon was an architect. Trayvon was not on trial. Zimmerman was not on trial. The black child in the hoodie was on trial. That's who was on trial. When they put the girl on the stand and clowned her, they put all of the thotties on trial. Right? They put all of the Instagram models on trial. They did all of that. They painted that picture. That was all propaganda.
Wow.
And by making a person walk, that only fed, when you read the report, and there was all kind of controversy, then they put his picture out. You feel me? So that was a spell. That put so much grief on Big Mama's heart. That put so much grief. That made little children feel like they was Trayvon. When you have campaigns saying, I am Trayvon,
And
you're agreeing to,
And the president says that could be my son.
Phew. So ever
You
since,
want to hear some crazy shit? When the verdict came down, we just got back from Afghanistan. It was in Kuwait, waiting to come back.
Yes.
And we was in a hangar, and when the verdict came down, all of the black and Latin brothers were on one side of the room. The general had to come up, talk to us to calm us, because we all combat soldiers with loaded weapons, upset on the other side of the room.
yes.
So they had to just to let you know that it was real deep, like how that verdict came down.
Remember, we rose up
it was
just to
deep.
get him arrested. We had to rise up nationwide just to get the homie arrested.
Right.
Then he walked on. Then he moonwalked.
I mean, he was free for 44 days.
Yeah, he was free for 44 days after he killed Trayvon. So that was, remember, that's 2012 when what? The world was supposed to end. When the gates were supposed to happen. It happened in February at the All-Star game, but that's in 2012. We're in 2017. Ever since that Trayvon, go and Google. Yeah, but you could Google, you could get 3 or 6, you could get 9 hours worth of information. Google the Trayvon factor 1, 2, and 3. We did that on Know the Ledge Radio out the park, and we prophesize where we're at right now.
And 27.
It was like, yo, they about to start going in. They declaring war. He's the Spanish Jew. This is the Crusades. Stop playing. You understand? And Mike Brown, everything is tied in. Mike Brown, Alton Sterling, all of these. They put these stories out here. George Soros was behind the Mike Brown story. He funded 48 hours of a news block for that story to put it out there and make it one of these quote unquote a narrative.
Wow.
And then the narrative of Darren Wilson was able to slide through, which reinforced everything that Trump is about, everything that Sessions is about, everything that all of them are about. And I'm talking about all of them. The useful idiot, what do they call the people who ride with the liberals? The useful idiots? They're there to fool you. 2 wings of a same bird. If you ain't figured that one out, I don't know what to tell you.
Left wing, right wing, same bird.
Yeah. So
left wing, right wing. Deep.
So they have not been broadcasting these rituals because they have new programs that they're putting on our people. They're putting them in a Trump bag. Global war now, you know what I mean? They got off of the police popping people, but that does not mean that has stopped. Where is Black Lives Matter? I shouldn't even be asking for them in 2017. But how many sightings have you niggas had? You know what I'm saying? Baby, have you seen her? You know what I mean? It's seen her.
No tweets from D-Ray.
None of them.
None from Sean King.
None of them.
I ain't seen the blue vest.
None of them. Yeah, like there's only been 14 days out of the calendar year where the police haven't killed somebody. Only 14. Have you heard about one?
Hate crimes in the United States have increased last year, the FBI says. I have a chart we showing everything. So things are being turned up. The next topic that dominated the conversation in the minds and the hearts of the people of around the world
Cha-ching, ching,
in the
ching.
calendar year of 2017
I get
was none
money.
other than
I get money.
cryptocurrency. Crypto.
I get it.
Currency. But I said in a song, I built my empire off of Bitcoins. That was the song Your Brother's in it. From Niggas to God.
Niggas to God, yeah.
Right.
That's right.
Yeah, I built my empire off, bitch, I spit coins.
Come on.
I built my empire off of Bitcoins.
Bars.
It was trading at $1.
Bars, come on.
Yeah, bars, nah. Maybe at 100.
100,
So, no other topic when it came to economics, when it came to that bag. Niggas with their money phones had to go and hang it up. Jay was trying to help you guys. He was giving you the heads up. Because you couldn't fuck with the coin. Nigga put one coin in his ear. It's over, baby. You know what I'm talking about? It is over. It takes away the money book. So Bitcoin, which is a derivative, or rather a brand of the technology that is identified as cryptocurrency. And for all my spooky people out there, I'm not talking about Tales of the Crypt either.
Please clarify.
And I'm not cryptid either. We're not banging. This is not that talk. This is not Beezus Bryce. So cryptocurrency talks about encryption.
Right.
Everything that we prophesize that we need as a people put out you know what I'm saying? They sent out the invoices and put that, yo, please send us our own economy. Please send us our own currency.
Talk about it.
They doing it in Ithaca.
Yeah.
Remember the Ithaca talk?
Yeah. They got the Ithaca
Please, you know what I'm saying? All of the boys that came along who had, prototypes of dollar bills.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? All of my brothers and sisters that collected silver and gold bars.
All that.
I was asking for, I need something to do because I want to buy a gold bar. I want to go to the gold bar with my gold bar. But I'm not going to take my whole bar to the bar. So now you can put it in the coin. So there's no longer secure the bag, it's secure the coin.
But Red, did y'all hear about the brother that the Chuck E. Cheese coins?
No, that's fake news. But guess what real news is? No, hold on, it was fake news. But guess what real news is?
Talk about it, brother.
Real news is that there were people who were navigating the dark web who looked like me and you from dark backgrounds, meaning hood niggas, the bottoms.
Right.
They were on Silk Road doing their finest Moorish rendition. Okay, they were wearing the fez like what's your guy, Cam Newton. You know what I mean? Wow. Bubbling those fig Newtons though, because remember the Silk Road had $5 billion in trade taking place on a yearly basis, all with Bitcoin.
Whoa.
All with Bitcoin.
Right. So the hustlers in the hood are more Bitcoin savvy,
more tech savvy
than the hoteppers.
Than the pyramid builders.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Than the nation builders.
They had to learn. This is where I kind of got my real-time lesson. You know what I'm saying? I was around the homies one day, and they was like, oh, wait, I got to go buy X, Y, and Z. And right, you know what I mean? They went into the dark web.
Right in the dark web.
Oh, what the?
Wow.
Yeah.
And they was like, yeah, this is how this shit work. And they understood it like traders, like, not trader of the race, you know what I'm saying? Like Wall Street traders.
Wall Street traders.
So once again,
That's deep.
before we missed the wave, because it was said, look, if somebody can manage a small scale cocaine crack operation, this person is qualified managerially wise to maybe work at a Fortune 500 company.
Oh, yeah.
And if you were a Willie that was controlling an operation that they hit with a Rico, right?
Facts.
If you had a large scale operation, they were saying that was tantamount to a Fortune 500 company. You were tantamount to a CEO of a Fortune 500 company, because there's nothing necessarily easy about selling drugs.
Facts.
And anybody who sold work know what we're talking about, especially at that level. So these were our geniuses ended up, you know what I'm saying? In terms of the people with the mental capacity and the drive to make things happen in real time. They just fell to the dark side.
Right.
You understand? Let's not miss the same opportunity
That's where the funding
with the Bitcoins, right? With the Bitcoin, right, revolution that's taking place, because the homies in the hood, they have the information and the know-how to really make that thing twerk. That's why you're hearing all these stories about, voices popping up every day with somebody. This dude is making millions of dollars off of Bitcoin. This guy's because there's other ways that people know how to really make that thing twerk. You know what I'm saying?
Well, and it's basically having the foresight to take risks.
Right.
Or to say, look, I'm sitting on 10 racks. I'm sitting on 100 racks. If somebody explains to me that there's a way to just put that one, not even flip it, just, what do they call that when you take one thing to another? Transfer.
Right.
Paper fiat to digital currency, and the chances that it may grow, you know what I mean?
It's a lot better.
It's a lot better
than it being in the mattress.
Than this fiat that I've been reading about, and it might currently be at 0.004 cents.
Right.
There's no coming back for that, for those dead presidents. Those presidents are almost dead. For real.
Right.
What about the newborn? What about the digital baby? What about that digital money? You feel me? What about that digital currency? What about that light code? You feel me? Remember, cryptocurrency. We did the lecture and explained the evolution will be digitized in 2014. That's that all of that is your language. That's your West African language. Those zeros and ones. All of that is that binary is you.
Binary is you.
Oh, that's
code.
divination. Yeah. That's yes and no. That's all you from the gate.
A brother named Salam Sound asks, why do RBGs hate technology?
Wow.
I think they're intimidated by it because it automatically has a perceived association with whiteness, with the white man.
Well, I mean, to me, that's an oxymoron because an RBG is technology. The red is for the blood, which is we are technology.
Facts.
The black is for the race or the people or the original body,
highest forms
and
of
then the
technology.
green would be the technology of the planet, the
not
resources.
more technologically
So
advanced than the
RBG,
planet.
yeah. So if you're even evoking RBG and you're not backed by technological action on RBG, then how could you really claim you're RBG?
You're not.
We had a
It's all
we had a
technology.
Blog Talk radio show before. Do you remember this? And the brother said that the pyramid is an act. You remember that?
So the pyramid is a what?
The pyramid is an act.
Could you elaborate on that?
It's an application. It's a solution. It's an application of multiple formulas to create something that was known as the Great Pyramids. And to this day, with advanced technology, for people who keep giving away technology to people, and for the people who have the audacity to be afraid of technology and identify as anything RBG-ish, that's the highest form of technology still standing to this day. And even with the D-Wave and the supercomputers, they still have not learned how that thing was put together. You're attached to that. Not everybody, but you're attached to that. You're attached to other megalithic structures that defy mathematics and things of that nature. Even with these 3D, 4D printers, supercomputers, they're not even, because they will be mimicking that thing, right? They will be cloning that and mimicking and improving upon it. You feel what I'm saying? So what was going on 100,000, 10,000 years ago, mentally, gift-wise? I'm talking about mind-wise. Where were we evolution-wise? Grounded. Right? Grounded. You feel me? So
we was grounded. We was
utilizing. There was a whole nother. It was a whole nother reality. But we live in the reality now that it is time to bring that reality into this reality. God damn it, the doors are open. You could bring any reality into this reality because everything fits in America. You understand? You're in the biggest fantasy island ever created. This is all.
This is Sims.
This shit is all Sims.
Brother Rich, what else are you saying?
You could come
over
to
there?
America. Remember, everybody is leaving their reality-based islands, lands, countries
right.
where it's like reality is unbearable to come to America to be anybody that they want.
Facts.
Deep.
That's who they come and become.
Yeah. What else they got for us, Rich?
Well, if you got questions, they just talking about
Well,
Bitcoin.
let's
They
finish-
just
yeah, we
talking
gotta
about
finish this
Bitcoin.
list, 'cause
But
I
let
wanna
me,
get-
let me ask you a question. What do you think about 2017? Talk to me about we seen in 2017. I guess people have this perception that white supremacy is an old white man game. And I guess white women showed, they showed their ass. They voted for more Trump.
Yes.
So their numbers was big in terms of voting for these, white supremacists, these pedophiles, these, grab them by the pussy. I mean, could you talk? Is that a surprise to you? Is that a shock to you? What do you think about that this year? What did it show this year?
One thing about a race of people and their culture, they have the reason why they belong to that race is because they have an instinct, and that instinct is they all know who their people are.
Right.
You understand? Okay. They have the get out secret, and we don't. They all know that. They all understand who they are. They know who they are. We don't know who they are. We don't even know who we are. So we have two strikes against us. They know who they are. They like, yo, I eat the butt out of a pig. You understand? I'm just saying they know where they come from. They know the level that they take this thing.
Right.
And they know how much of it is happening. They're aware of how many people are getting away. You know what I'm saying? With a lot of the things that we would deem as atrocities.
Part of the reason why they are in awareness is because when you're the minority, right, and you have a us versus them mentality, even if in the minority you have a difference of opinion, right, you use the us versus them mentality to galvanize energetically and tribalistically a response. And that response is cultivated. And then you have resources and technology to back that response and to enforce the minority. And then you create a reflective reaction based upon that minority, using each other's to remind each other we are the minority. But it's marketed as we the majority.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? So that duplicitous nature is what fuels them. So to me, the President Trump is the personification of that, right? So a Caucasian woman would say, I'm fighting for equality, right? I don't like misogynistic men. But yet she will knight a misogynistic man into power just so she can create a storm of reaction based upon him being in power. So I'm gonna. I'm gonna. It's almost like the woman says, "I don't, a thug." Like I like a nice guy. I want an educated guy, but I really want you to smack it, flip it, rub it down. Okay, I want you to rum the pussy, jam the yoni, smash and smash and smash and boss the yoni. Okay. So that's why he won. Because he was daggering the yoni. And he said, wow, the fact that he was going to dagger, because, Obama, he was symbolically petting the pussy. Okay, he was petting the pussy. Okay, but see, Trump is pass the pussy. Big brother money. Pass the pussy. He was passing the pussy. And see, when you can pass the pussy, those women said, wait a minute, he's passing the pussy. I'm going to knight him just so I can unite the minority to raise up against what I'm knighting. So I'm gonna bless him, but just so I can raise up against him.
Hold on, they're preparing to go into the next phase of their conflict. You understand?
Woo! Talk about that, brother.
They need to have somebody who is lowering the morals and the values of American society, such as Trump, because they're ready to elect the pedophiles in. They're ready to elect the crooked people in. They're ready to elect the colluders in. They're ready to elect all of the Clinton, the Biden. You know what I mean? They want, because the dirty work they know that their people are going to do that work. Yeah. If somebody if they belong to a house where that house you were in a spiritual house and you had the spirit workers in that house, right, you would be like, yo, I'm putting my faith in these niggas because they get busy. Right. You feel me?
You see it. Right.
I see it. You know what I'm talking about?
Let me, being that we talking about the influx of divine feminine energy, right, hitting this planet post 2012 because it takes 4.4 years
That's the eclipse.
for the light to come from the galactic center.
Yes.
So the feminine energy kind of started hitting the planet around 2016, around
Yes,
the time
around
that
that
Hillary
time.
was running. What you saw expressed on both sides, right? Were the women had a coherent feeling for the pain that the men of their race were going through. Case in point,
That's deep. Yeah.
melanated women were at the forefront of
the fight.
Black Lives
Yeah,
Matter.
that's right. That's right.
They were on the forefront. They the ones that was, you
Salute.
seen them in St.
Salute.
Louis, you seen them in Ferguson.
That's right.
marching.
Salute to the women.
You seen them, right, getting turned up.
Salute to the sisters.
Yeah. I've
Right,
seen 'em.
Eric Gardner's daughter and all of them.
Yeah,
it was
I
women.
cried watching one of them videos.
Right,
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie.
what's the sister's name? Tamara
Mary.
Mary. You know what I mean? And that whole stay woke movement.
Yeah,
you
yeah,
see
yeah.
nothing but women. Right.
We're gonna get to
so
that.
you have the white women counterbalance to that.
They
Balance.
counterbalance to that.
Feeling the pain of their young men, of theirs, you know what I'm saying, of the men that are part of their quote unquote race.
Remember, because they
Right?
have
So hold on,
That's
so
real,
they're
that's
giving
deep.
them an option. You can vote in one of your own,
Right.
right? Or you could go for this person that represents their pain. That's still their sons.
It's still right.
That's still the men that they go to sleep with at the end of the night.
Yeah,
Right.
fact.
You feel me?
Who they ride for,
Right?
first.
That's who they ride for. Even the ones that are quote unquote feminists, they didn't have enough numbers. Those was the ones more so that was going to ride on some Hillary. You know what I'm saying? And they have the collusion with these black feminists and what have you, so they can rally those points. But the ones that are home cooked and what have you,
Yeah.
you understand?
Flyover states.
Yeah,
The
they rolling with Rush. Yeah,
evangelicals.
they rolling with Rush because
Yeah.
they know, like you said, quietly what needs to be done
Yeah.
to restore order.
Order. It's about
You
order.
feel me? They know what needs to be done to restore order, and they have to put one of theirs in there.
Well, let me tell you, brothers. I
make
think
that thing
symbolically, if you went from Obama to Hillary, there would be no coming back for the good old boy.
Oh, nah, they would have
You
been
have
wild
to
out.
go from Obama to good old boy,
Yeah.
right? And good old boy that you don't expect because it kind of keeps the machine going. If you go from Obama to a female presence, whether you agree with her or not, right? Just the presence of her symbolically running this corporation.
Yeah.
It's almost like
Scorpion.
It's almost like what comes next. It's almost like
Yeah.
it's free for all, and you can't have that. You have to
yeah,
kind of.
yeah.
So that's deep.
Not-
That-
yeah. So
They
they
gave
wasn't
you a reality
signing on
star
to that.
instead. Yeah.
They wasn't signing. There's no security in that, right? Because a woman seeks security from a man. Okay, even if this man is grabbing them by the pussy, they still feel that there's more of a chance of security
Right.
with this man
Yeah,
than
that's
with
deep.
this woman.
Because remember, in times of unrest, in times of turmoil, studies have shown that the people are not going to go with the charismatic leader. They're going for the iron fist.
Iron fist.
right,
That's who they're going to.
That's real.
They're going to turn to the iron fist. Obama has the platinum tongue. He was the charismatic leader. You know what I mean? Trump, on the other hand, is the archetype. Remember, the book sales of billionaire men who run around and sleep with mad women, you dig what I'm saying, are on the rise. That's a whole genre in books. Women fantasize about that. You understand? 50 Shades of Grey. They wanted the rich dude to do what? Grab her by the pussy and go in. You understand? So women are, you remember Pretty Woman. Women are somewhat, they look at a man like Donald Trump. Once you a billionaire, you Caligula. You know what I mean? They don't expect that nigga to have any morals. You blowing them up, they just giggle about that in the powder room. They already know he's grabbing them by the box.
Yeah.
Because they
talk.
They got customers.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
They talk. Yeah.
It's a hypocritical place to be,
Right.
where people act like that's not what billionaire men are out here doing. Millionaire niggas that are thousandaires. Yeah.
1,000 is there. Yeah.
Hundred-naires is hundred.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Hundred.
And
Yeah.
what I'm saying is the daughters of the American Revolution, the people behind the lost cause, these women, remember, these women, it's the same thing like Game of Thrones. That's why it was so popular. They're not looking for the leader or the emperor or the king who exhibits such moral character. Jeffrey, the little boy from Game of Thrones, that he's damn near like Trump. Remember American Psycho with Christian Bale? You're looking at that kind of behavior. White women are turned on by that.
A little earlier, somebody mentioned the movie Bright. We was talking about that off the camera a little earlier. Nove mentioned that, tied it in with net neutrality and everything that's going on. Could you touch on the movie Bright as well as net neutrality and how the paradigm of how things are viewed is changing rapidly?
Yeah, and I think it's, the time to regulate the internet was interesting around a time when all of the Hollywood execs were being exposed.
Facts.
Right? Now, remind you, the vortex actually started ritualistically with Dr. Cosby. I knew that it was going to transcend race. I knew that people wanted to just be a black, powerful man, but I knew he belonged to a brotherhood that transcended just him being black. And I knew once that happened with him, there were going to be some things that come down the pipes. I just
wanted to add on what you're saying. Yeah. I knew when they found him not guilty, that heads were going to roll. It would have been a different reality if he were found guilty. I doubt what we're seeing now taking place would have been taking place at this rate. That's just
no, I think that's right on point, Red, and that goes into what Blue was saying about the feminine energy. The Aquarius is about revelation, opening up, revealing, right? So when the thing happened with Dr. Cosby, even to the not guilty, the revealing was going to continue. Now, the whole thing about the net is like we can't control it for so much. This is why the dark web, like you mentioned earlier, Red, has been able to have an alternate reality beyond the web we see, and it has its own funding, and even like you say, cryptocurrency bubbles powerfully in there. You could buy almost damn near nuclear arms with the right cryptocurrency. But I digress. So my point is saying that is Netflix, in the midst of the storm with Hollywood, Netflix became the next leading force as far as cinema. The first time in our history in this country, in the world, where cinema was now being taken out, cinema power, which is again controlling the vision of the mind, right?
Neurocinematography.
So Netflix became so powerful because most people said, "Hey, if I'm not downloading it or going to a movie site, I'll go out with the, if it's a really blockbuster, but I'll do two things. I'll go see the movie." But I'll go home and watch on the home. Netflix became such a powerful thing because, and Brad, you can talk about Chappelle in a second. When they started doing deals with A-listers, I remember the first trailer came out with Will Smith in the spring. When I saw that, I said, Netflix better be ready because when they cut Will Smith, an A-lister,
who they said was the highest earner at one time.
The highest. When they cut
they brought him in.
I said, he's going with Netflix? I said, oh shit. Then Bruce Willis, he didn't come out yet, but he did a deal right after Will did. And then a third Caucasian guy, A-lister that we all grew up seeing, I forgot his name, but it was three. Will Smith set it off with the trailer. And I said, if these three actors continue keep this up, this is going to rival Hollywood. Why? Because Netflix has the capital to cut the check to the artist directly to the and actually it's almost like TuneCore with online digital thing. It'll let Will Smith and Overbrook own most of it.
Facts.
And they'll just get a piece of it because it wants to stream on the platform, right? So hey, let Will Smith get most of the money, right? And when I saw the trailer, I said, this looks like a real movie. And I saw the trailer. I said, this looks official, like it should be in the cinema. But in my mind, I said, is it going to really come out? I almost thought it was like, it's going to come out, but I said, Hollywood can make it come out. Once it hit, and everybody started getting excited about it's coming, I remember they started talking about the soundtrack. They had all of these big artists with the soundtrack. I said, okay, they're really serious about this. And then in the midst of that, Chappelle was successful. You know what I'm saying? On the platform. And I said to myself, okay, here we go. The minute it hit, they said over 11 million people tuned in on one night The opening night.
The opening night.
11 million people tuned
Damn.
in to the first night.
You see how the critics was hating though.
But then the critics the next day deemed Will Smith's movie the worst movie of the year. Now, brothers, I knew that was a ploy because they got the bag to say that. Because the perception has to become no more A-listers, go with Netflix.
Yeah.
Stay with the good old boys.
And not
Even
only
though we
that,
got controversy on
Whose whole shit is burning down.
Right.
And
Stay with us.
not only that, not only the executives are getting scalped, you know what I'm saying, and they decapitating them. Hollywood did its worst year.
Yeah.
In the theaters.
And Netflix, this is their best year.
Yeah.
Netflix got a spending capital that's ridiculous.
Come on.
And we talked about the
Talk
power.
about Chappelle. Remember you mentioned
Yeah,
about Chappelle?
yeah.
About the bag difference, and how he didn't have to necessarily, he didn't have to do no casting couch.
Yeah, they were offering him $50 million, and that's what he walked away from. And he was
right.
He was but that involved
Comedy
wearing a
Central.
dress.
Comedy Central.
Comedy Central that involved the dress, which is the ritual, and he stood on his square and just lived his life.
Right. He rebuffed it off of. He
didn't
held
become
out
a whore
right
to the bag,
and he ended up coming up.
You know what I mean? He didn't put he didn't throw his values away
For the cause.
for the cause. So he held out, and Netflix paid him $60 million for just two shows. Just for 2 shows. We're talking. They $50 million for a few seasons.
Yo, that's
You know what I'm talking about? So he's coming back on tonight or tomorrow night, New Year's Eve.
yeah.
And he's gonna crash the internet. And I know that they had to pay him $100. So this year reflected the power of ownership, the power of your brand, the power of building your brand, and the power of the numbers if used properly. You feel me? And also the power of the numbers when used not properly. Because how do everybody get worldwide coverage when it's negative news? How does everybody get worldwide coverage when there's beef? What about worldwide coverage when we dropping these bombs? You know what I'm saying? Where's the worldwide coverage when people are putting forward information that's never, you know what I mean, that needs to be heard, let alone never heard before? Where's all of the press? So we're in this, you know what I mean? So
I ask you a question. Do y'all think if they really go hard what they want to do with net neutrality, do you think that people will pay the fees to stay online?
It's going to become an item like wearing a Gucci belt. It's going to become an item like having a phone. It's a status symbol. So they fit it within the fabric of this quote unquote, you know, there's not, you know, they've melted away middle class with the new tax bill. There's only poor and rich. Now it's not going to it's not only about color. It's about class status.
Real quick, Goldman Sachs today, I don't know if you heard, said they lost $5 billion because of the new tax law. Just wanted to throw that in there.
Yeah,
they just came out when I was coming to see y'all tonight.
Yeah, I didn't see that one yet. We got to do a whole show on the tax code and what
I
happened.
didn't want to cut the bill. I just wanted to add.
Not at all. Yeah, not at all.
They've found something new unfortunately, for our young sisters to thought about, but.
Oh gosh!
I'm just saying they're going to turn a lot of people into the stock mentality. What would you do for a Klondike bar is now what would you do for some Wi-Fi?
You know what I mean?
Right.
For some 5G.
Yeah, what you do for some 5G? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
To surf my way.
Yeah, how can I parcel these increments of time for you to surf this web?
Yeah. That's going to be the new dating item in the dating world now. Can you pay for my Wi-Fi? Can you pay for my IG? My IG account?
Can you pay for my Netflix?
Yeah. Can you swap out my IG for the year?
Like, my IG for Can you pay for my IG for the year? Yo, you said it. Bring that back.
Swipe left.
What is next Christmas going to look like?
Ooh,
that's supposed to be our Black Mirror episode, like.
Yeah, that's right. What's next Black Friday gonna look like? That's deep.
So what we're gonna have to do.
That's crazy, man.
We're gonna have to explore the options that are going to begin to come up. I think it's time for us to learn the dark web and the deep web. To become very familiar with it, to tap into the many benefits and the pros
cryptocurrency.
of not only cryptocurrency but a crypto world. It goes one in hand. You're
right.
off the grid. Remember the first scene in The Matrix when Neo heard Morpheus calling him, and he was jugging on the dark web.
Right, he was.
Remember,
That's
he was
right.
jugging.
That's right.
He
That's
was
right.
on the Silk Road.
Yeah,
he was on.
putting
He had
in
to
work.
plug in to a different kind of internet.
Right.
He wasn't on the regular web.
Right, facts.
He was on the onion router.
Factoids.
Factoids. That's the first few seconds of the Matrix.
I mean, you gotta pull that back up. You pull up one
He
back
was
up.
jugging on the dark web. So, there's somebody sitting with a Bitcoin wallet that may be laid up doing a bid right now. You know what I'm talking about? Your wallet ain't something that you carrying with you. It's not like your regular bank account. It sits there. I just went into my Coinbase and saw that we have a wallet, and we had brothers from D-Mill and them from the
Moabit
from the Moabit Association.
Shout out.
Yeah, they paid us
Brother.
in Bitcoin in 2014. I looked at it the other day. It has matured. You know what I'm talking about? It's growing like the little lizard in Stranger Things. You know what I'm talking about? It's getting very big now. So imagine the person who had mad jugs. You know what I mean? He was getting all of the Ziploc Kush, the shit that Tekashi 9 had in his video. The pillows of the Kush. That's what they're selling. That's what they're selling on these dark webs, on the deep web and stuff like that. That's not the only thing that they're doing. Remember, the seeable internet is only 20%. The 80% is the dark and the deep web. It's
deep.
like an iceberg.
Yeah.
You don't even know that it exists.
So do you think that's why they're trying to push the net neutrality because of that?
Yo,
And that's my question. If
I mean,
20% of our
that's a good
reality
question
is what
because-
we seen on the web, it's almost like they say you're only using 10% of your brain potential.
Yeah.
So we're only using 20% of the internet, and there's an 80% universe.
Look.
That makes me think, well, damn, this makes sense beyond Netflix. Why they would want to go deeper and push the net neutrality? Because that means more people from the 20% world, which is a whole lot, will start moving deep into the abyss of the dark web.
well,
I
I think they're just tapping into the consumer base that has been created by an addiction that is going to turn into an affliction. Remember, cocaine and dopamine. The report came out that social media in children's brains is releasing the same. Not just cocaine.
Right.
It's that not just that white girl. It's releasing. You don't even gotta snort a line. You could listen to Bad and Bougie. You could watch World Star. You know what I'm saying? You could show your tit on. You could show your snap on Snapchat. Your snapper on Snapchat. And the you know what I mean? Your snapper on the snap. You know what I'm talking about? And the amount of your trap on the snap. And the amount of inboxes that you gonna get. You know what I mean? Yo,
That's dope, yeah.
shorties have turned the box into a bando. Highway to heaven, Michael.
Highway to heaven.
Michael.
Yo.
But that's what we see going on right now, and they're we got to acknowledge that. That also had a meteoric rise this year.
Yeah, that's right.
You know what I'm saying? That's attached to what we're going to touch on in a minute. But look, so just a simple concept. We didn't even get into the Bitcoin. We didn't even get into the deepness of the cryptocurrency. The graphs that we put up are going to show more information.
Right.
It's a lot deeper than what it is. We have classes. Come and holler at us. All right. The website is cryptonetico.com.
Red and blue, all caps.
Yeah, red and blue, all caps. Come into our club. We're gonna teach you about this cryptocurrency and stuff like
wait till you
that.
see this list, family. It's dope.
If your money has the opportunity to grow exponentially, there's no other conversation I'm having anymore. I'm not in your diatribe. I'm not in your dialogue about this old world. That's an old paradigm. This new paradigm is going to be cryptocurrencies. Convert your dollar bills. Convert the money that's sitting around.
It's not only, we're talking blockchain, which is the underlying technology for all of this. And that is going to revolutionize everything and all things. So yeah, they
Intellects,
might be pulling the
internets.
plug because you know if you know how to play the game, there
You're
should be
gonna hit.
no looking back. You're gonna hit.
You're hitting.
You know what I'm saying? And they left you with no option.
Facts.
If you are poor, you're fucking dead in this country. Like they're leaving. There's no middle ground.
Yeah.
So you have no choice but to get rich. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, interesting.
But to
This
get
is
wealthy.
50,
You know what I
get
mean?
rich at that
So
time.
yeah,
Yeah, we in it, right?
you could focus on getting rich alone, or you could get wealthy as a unit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I mean that's where the conversation is at. You
Yeah.
feel me?
Isn't that
That's
one of our
why
Kwanzaa principles of cooperative economics?
they keep posting it online.
Keep posting it.
I keep
seeing
seeing
all
it
of
on my
that.
timeline, but nobody's bringing it up to date. Nobody's bringing it up to
Leah and all that.
Bougie Chocolate Leah,
Bougie Chocolate Leah and all that.
Johnny and all of that. But what does it mean in the real time? What does it mean in digital?
Yeah.
Can you digitally translate that to me?
Facts.
You feel me?
And if you
Can
can't
we
get
get
a
an update?
boss, like if the whole Kwanzaa crawl community was able to monetize their numbers, if they were able to commodify their numbers, we're going to get into it a little bit later about what these platforms, where they were, if they were able, with these personalities, these are movements. Each one of these people are movements amongst themselves. They have millions and millions of followers.
Right.
Their nations are amongst themselves. Everybody that's moving with these networks have nations attached to them. Ye are powerful.
Right.
Ye are God.
Let's go.
So, but we're going to get back into the crypto. All right. Natural disasters, which was another topic that had the attention of
This
everybody
year, man, wow.
around the world, not just New Yorkers, not just Negroes, niggas in Paris, brothers and sisters down south.
This was a definitive year for a number of things, bro.
Deep.
And national disasters were definitely, they grabbed the headlines. We saw some things that
Globally,
we've never
too.
seen globally.
Globally.
Speak on it, God.
Man, I mean, you had India was going through it same time as West Africa.
Yes.
Sierra Leone, right?
Sierra
They had
Leone.
had a horrible one.
They had the monsoon. They had the landslide.
And then we had three back to back. We had the Florida, we had Texas,
We
and
had
Puerto Rico.
Harvey
first.
we had Irma, and then we had Maria.
which
And
was
Maria
the
was
strongest
with Puerto
of
Rico,
all
right?
three storms.
Was it Puerto Rico?
Yeah,
Maria, the
Maria,
storm
okay.
that wasn't even reported about.
Yeah.
Mind you,
Virgin Islands.
let's remind
Right.
the people who are out here. I think it was one weekend they were distracting us with Trump. Something was going on.
something
Right,
on.
right. I remember that. Right.
There was something going on.
Niggas
And they
was
just-
on some stream. Somebody streamed. And it was the strongest hurricane out of all three.
But yeah,
smashing.
the people were already weather fatigued.
They was weather
because
fatigued.
they,
They
they,
were out.
hyped them up with Irma.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is the monster, the biggest ever.
Biggest
and it
one.
didn't do what it was supposed to. It veered left. It didn't do what it do.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying?
They didn't get blood.
They didn't get the blood.
That's deep.
So then when her Maria came, they was like,
Yeah.
oh, I ain't got no time for that. Plus, they not saying whether it's going to hit mainland, but it washed up the Virgin Islands and then it
Hey, I can
destroyed
tell you
Puerto
one thing.
Rico.
Hip hop stepped up for Maria, man. Hip hop stepped up, man.
and that's a good thing.
Yeah, that is a
good
as
thing.
we celebrate hip hop in its 44th year, hip hop would not have been possible without the input of Puerto Ricans.
Come on, talk
Yes.
about that. Yeah,
You know what I'm
that's
saying?
Right. Absolutely.
And this
Our
44th
family,
year, yeah.
yes,
That's right.
out of
They
the
are
BX.
architects.
That's right.
Yeah,
You
they some of
understand?
the architects.
Because I know, there's family that's interspersed throughout this country that's looking at the stream, and when we talk about, they don't understand our intricate relationship with our Latino brothers here
In
New
the East
York.
Side.
In
That's
New
right,
York
right.
specifically.
Our Dominicans, Puerto Ricans,
right.
Cubans. You know what I'm saying? All of that's family.
Shout
we
out to
understand our connection.
shout out to
them,
our family,
and
man.
They
of
understand it to us.
Almighty Latin King Queen Nation. More direct,
Yes,
man.
indeed.
Salute
Yeah.
to y'all family,
feel
man.
me?
Salute.
So 2017 hurricane season was the most expensive in U.S. history.
Woo!
Plans to rebuild hurricane-ravaged Barbuda reignites a decade-old land dispute. So not only do we have the majority of the Caribbean still in turmoil and in shambles post the natural disasters, but we have corporations, because keep in mind, these were all coincidentally tax havens that were destroyed. These islands were revealed a few weeks later with the Paradise Papers.
Panama Papers.
No, the Panama Papers was first, and the Paradise Papers came after the hurricanes and showed, yes, it backed up what we were saying. Those are the tax havens. So Robert De Niro they have not even let anybody from Barbuda back.
No.
I didn't even know.
Evacuated.
They evacuated the island and sent them to Antigua. Robert De Niro is going there to build a resort. He's making it a resort island.
The whole island.
So the bulldozers are taking people's houses, their property, everything.
They can't come back.
No, they're in Antigua.
That's deep.
Told to get it how you live. You
wow.
feel me?
That's deep.
And they're protesting against that. Puerto Rico, 50% is still not in power.
Wow.
And they in Florida.
And so you mean to tell me that the generators wasn't flying over there by the plane? There wasn't enough twerk and turn up contests, and all of these Puerto Ricans that are, running the stripper industry. You know what I'm saying? There wasn't a twerk fest. There wasn't a Cyber Monday. You know what I'm talking about? You know how Cyber Monday where you could have start putting the money together to get the generator? Fat Joe, you could have been in a lot of stoves cooking. I appreciate what you did. I saw the plane and went down there. Yeah. But we're talking about, sometimes the cross is very heavy. Heavy is he who wears that crown.
But hold on.
You know what I'm saying?
Crazy Legs.
Yeah.
Shout him out.
Shouted you out, yeah.
Fat Joe get the shout out. Jay-Z get the shout out. OG Wong get the shout out. Jennifer Lopez get the shout out.
Pitbull.
Pitbull get the salute. Super shout out.
Super shout out.
You feel me?
You know what I'm saying?
And there was others.
Jennifer Lopez.
And we're saying that we acknowledge them. And we definitely
they are not government organizations. They're individuals
Facts.
who brought together, I guess, different
resources,
groups and resources and organizations that made things happen.
Dope.
You know what I'm saying? Unfortunately, this was another burden that Trump escaped. This was another burden that the U.S. government curtailed and escaped.
Yes.
What would you say to those who say Puerto Ricans got their white supremacy card revoked this year?
Wow.
I mean, goddamn it. That's a meme. You know what I mean? I think who didn't? Who didn't? But yeah, they were part of that listing. They surely did. They definitely got their wake-up call. You feel me? They got their Starbucks.
Well, most Latinos. I mean, from even our Mexican brothers and sisters.
But
When most of them were being the families. Remember that was part of this too. They were. You was there 30 years. And your
the
kids
dreamers,
are here,
the dreamers,
you had to kiss their kids to go away and go back.
The doctor,
but
the dreamers.
Unfortunately, in today's effeminized societies where betas rule,
Talk
you
about
have a type of people that will become avid follower of you, or they'll become a lackey of you, even when you disrespect them.
Wow.
We said it in the beginning of Trump's presidency. You're going to see people who you never thought before conform to whatever the fuck they doing. Whatever they say is going down, these people are going to find a way, whether it be through the bag or some twisted ideology that they come up with. Oh, I'm a black Republican. You know what I'm talking about? So I ride with Trump. He's good for the horses. You know what I mean? All of those niggas, the boule, everybody is conforming. And I'm not saying they're conforming to be down with Trump's agenda. They're conforming by becoming, you know what I mean, adversaries of one another. Because fear creates all of these behaviors that we begin to see where people do not want to unite. They want to find reasons to become further apart because they know once you unite, once the Avengers show up, you got to fight. Maybe you could catch the Hulk walking down the street by itself. It don't pop off the same way. But once the Avengers show up, it's a fight about to take place. You got to prove yourself. Nigga, the team showed up. Play. So people don't want to play. They don't want to play on that stage. They don't want to get on the stage. They're finding ways to bow out.
Talk about it, brother.
Last scene of True Romance, last scene of Reservoir Dogs. It was a mass shootout, and then who got away with the bag? The op in both movies. So you're seeing people self-destruct and fall on their swords because you have to remember.
They don't want that smoke.
They want that smoke.
They don't want that smoke.
And we're talking about that. We're talking about casting that net over the whole field of black people in particular. When Soulja Boy started beefing with everybody, he did that in the midst of white people banging on our people. He did that in the midst of niggas saying, "Oh, hands up, don't shoot," and all of this other stuff. He did that in the midst of Zimmerman stunting on people on social media. These people are doing. They're behaving in ways.
He did that in the midst of Umar Seti.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So we have to keep in mind that a lot of people are avoiding conflict. You understand? Rightfully so. Rightfully so. But the lack of people coming together and the lack of people working as a cohesive collective. The collective could have worked together for Puerto Rico. Every single Puerto Rican in the Bronx could have put their hands together for the Mama Island. It was a travesty what is taking place in front of all of our eyes. So yes, they're revoking the card for them. That some of these people are so indoctrinated because this is a crusade. It's being pitched as a religious movement. It's not just government anymore. He's like, yo, I'm your crusader. Wow. We're bringing this thing back. That's why you see the conversation about the Moors being on a BIE list, this Islam thing, not letting all of those 7 countries that are on the ban list keep talking who these people are.
Right.
Peep the countries.
Right.
These are all countries where original DNA is still living in.
Yes, right.
These are all countries who feature prominently in the biblical story, the narrative. There's a narrative taking place. He's working alongside the Israeli Zionists and also the evangelical right-wing conservative Christians in America. That is a base. That is a powerful base via the billionaire backers and all of these other peoples who are pushing into it. But it's bigger than that. Because I showed you the shit is global. What are we doing? Why are we apologizing for having conversations about coming together and just you know what I'm saying? Like just exercising, just you know what I mean? Like, how is that wrong?
Sure, bro.
If you see what's going on around you, like, hold on. This is the age of Ultron. They forming. And I'm not going to say it like I'm in fear. We going about our business, doing our work, kicking down doors. We on our break shit.
Right.
We are.
I love it.
And we know.
Activate, baby.
Activate. We know that we would be faring better in this game of life that's being played. This is the game of life, family.
Talk about it, brother.
This is the game of life. There's no other. You went to the damn Toys R Us on Christmas Eve looking for more board games. This is the only game that was left. Life game. We're not out here playing no games. This is life.
Come on.
This is about saving lives every single time we put ourselves on camera.
All hands on deck.
Speak about, you will not hear it in an egotistical way.
That's
We're
right.
only stating 2017 facts. Numbers don't lie.
Come on.
Add them up. You'll come
Add 'em
to
up.
about 10 million.
Come on.
Or maybe even more.
All
This
hands on
man
deck.
here in the multi-millions as well. So this is life, bro.
All hands on
the
deck.
narrative is being created in real time. The narrative is being created with every conversation. We talked about the UFOs one day, and then LA, they popped up in LA.
Come on.
Yo, did we touch on the Me Too movement? Because I went upstairs. Did
We're
y'all
getting,
touch on
yeah,
that?
we didn't even get to that. We're still going down the
'cause
list.
I don't want to.
I know.
I know that's probably like 5 hours long. So
Not at all, not at all.
Who said?
We're gonna get to that.
I want to ask you
Let's touch on
Hold
that.
on. Let me ask a question.
as far as the Me Too movement. Do you feel as though that will create the end of what do you call that? Chivalry.
Chivalry is
Where-
officially dead now.
Yeah, it's officially dead because I'm not gonna look at you in that light no more because of what's going on, because we're equal now. So I'm not me personally, but I'm just saying, I'm not gonna hold the door for you. I'm not gonna get out of my seat if the train is crowded. I'm not gonna greet you and say, good morning, hello, beautiful, or whatever that men might say to women.
When were they doing that?
I mean, that still happens.
Yeah, what was Prince Charming on the crowd?
I mean,
Is that going to end it completely, though, Blue? This whole, or is it attempting to end it completely?
I think, men are still going to be men. You know what I mean? You're going to always find a healthy contingency of men who still are holding on, you know what I mean, to that DNA that is definitely being
to replicate.
reconformed.
Reconform.
You know what I'm
yes.
saying? I remember when I was hustling in Harlem, about 2007, 2008.
Yeah,
and
by the Apollo.
By the Apollo, I used to have a strong contingency of lesbians that used to come and shop with us. They just stayed on that side of the street because Sinetta was on the other side.
No fly zone.
Yeah, that was the no fly zone. So they would come and they would spend money, and they were very generous. You know what I'm saying? Like, a woman that's in a relationship with another woman, they buy for themselves, then they buy for her, then they buy for other people. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And it's like, if men still want to remember what it's like to be romantic, no, they don't need to go no further but to look at us. We're the only ones out here still opening doors, still pulling out chairs, you know what I'm saying? Still making women feel like women. And I was like, what the? Remember, this was Harlem during Dipset era.
Post Dipset.
Okay? So, you know, smash and pass, you feel me? You know what I mean? You know, this is when the stripper culture kind of was coming to the surface. You know, dudes was looking at
Hit and run.
Yeah, you know, you hitting and run, and you know, dudes was running in the and. So there was a lot of things that was going on that was conforming how men look towards women and treat women. At the same time, you know, men need to kind of like investigate when women say, yo, we fed up with men, but then they go and get an AG, right, who's an aggressive, a lesbian that looks like a man. What is this woman doing that's so different that's locking them down? Because when you be seeing them, they be on lock. They be like,
because it's the alpha. It's this alpha. It's the alpha.
So they're imploring this alpha persona in the body of something that is somewhat different. But the activity is what's making her concede. It's making her familiar, like, oh, this is what I've been missing all along. This is the stuff that I heard about. So we, of course, if you want to come with a solution, you would have to find a way to counter that. Not to challenge what they're doing, but to say, look, how can we reinstitute this amongst men again to make heterosexual men look attractive in society? Because it ain't looking good out here. You feel me? It's as if there's a campaign.
Well, part of it, we have to, you know, we claim responsibility. You know, the humility and knowing our mistakes. I think we did a build on it last time we were together in Harlem. We talked about, you know, just receiving, being honest with ourselves, being transparent, knowing where we're weak at, and just owning that allows us to reconstitute the alpha power, because it allows us to say, you know, hey, you know, we accept, you know, our faults, and now we're going to rise, you know, as our SAR, you know, we put our pieces back together, and we're going to rise up and reconstitute. And I feel that just the four of us together as men, and how we work together as brothers, all the brothers out here, the young brothers that are watching us, the elders, the ones our age, you know, if we continue to fellowship with each other in this type of manner, right, energetically, we're actually continuing, you know, the compliment, you know. And so when you see the lesbian sisters on her alpha, you know, she's on principle. She's on masculine principle. So it's not really, we don't have to be at war with her. We just have to be on our principle, you know, because we that's who we are. So she's reminding us on principle. This is how you treat a woman. I'm going to mirror you on principle, right? And so if you're frustrated looking at that example, then you know, it's like resistance training, turning it into your muscle. You know what I'm saying? Use that resistance that you don't like, and harness that, and challenge yourself. And I would say, brothers, say good morning more. Open the door more. Continue to smile. Do not let down your alpha power, because the change of the guard has shifted, and more women are more. Maybe it's time to be more aggressive. I mean, you know, we technically just. In the male energy, men have been grabbing women by the pussy. Maybe women want to grab us by the dick. I mean, keep it in 100. You know, we're just in an era now where they, you know, I remember when we was at the African Sheep Festival with the weights, and we were just pumping it up, man. A bunch of brothers in the side, we just getting push-ups and had the weights out there, and literally like a gang of sisters came up. They were all bad too. They were all fine. They was like, they were all cheering us on, and literally they would grab. They didn't know us. They grabbed us on our thing. Literally, the sister came up and licked my chest and licked my neck. I didn't know her, and look at that moment. I was like, wow. So she became the aggressor. So I just think we're in the age, and this was 2017. So I think we're in the age where women now are saying, well, I want to grab something by the something. You know what I'm saying? And I don't think that we have to get off our dean. I think we should just, you know, continue to inspire the alphas that are out here. You know what I'm saying? To be more alpha.
Again, I don't want to make an assumption that the young men necessarily know what it means, you know, to be chivalrous or to be romantic or to be an alpha, because where else are they getting this training? You know what I'm saying? Because I come up in a generation and I talk to young men, and a lot of what they do, they tell me they learn through culture and entertainment. So they're like, oh, I learned how to spit at a shorty by listening to Short. I learned how to spit to a shorty listening to Pimp. You know what I'm saying? I learned how to finesse a shorty listening to Jay. You know what I mean? Like, I didn't have a father. I didn't have a big brother. You know what I'm saying? So I felt socially awkward until I got my thing together, and I'm going to get it from wherever I could get it from. I'm not going to pick a book up. I'm going to go to these, or I got it from Tyreek, or I got it from here.
Right.
You know what I mean? So,
Piecemeal.
right. This is where they're going to go. They're going to go and fetch it from wherever it's available.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Even if they're watching the Pimp, you know what I'm saying, in their neighborhood, and they seeing, you know what I mean, they taking the pointers and tips from that particular dynamic, because they are still obeying the primal force, which is procreation.
Right.
Everything else that they came here to do is just window dressing.
Yep.
Wow.
You feel me?
Yeah, brother.
So they got to get it how they live,
Yeah.
the best way that they know how. So do you have any suggestions if there's young brothers out there that want to get more in contact with this information, to say, damn, well, what am I supposed to be doing? What should it look like? How am I supposed to go about this? You know what I'm saying? Because I don't see, I would say 98% of the couples that I see in the street, the women is walking on the outside. They don't even understand that no more. That's basic.
Yeah.
It's basic.
We got that in 3rd grade.
Yeah.
You feel me? They don't know that no more. So
I think the rise of, the culture, and I'm going to show it that hip hop in its 44th year was, coronated as being the leading genre of music in the world, surpassing rock and roll, R&B and hip hop. So the music as well as the culture is most dominant. And there are some young men who don't have fathers. There's some young men who have fathers who are influenced by, young men that are on record telling them, especially artists that you can pinpoint. Lil Wayne being one of the main. Remember, he raised the children up in a sexual nature. He was one of the most sexual rappers that had skills. He had bars.
Sexually explicit.
Sexually explicit rappers that had bars. Like, you always got your looks and everything. And, all of that is basically speaking to our nature, our sexual nature, our lower selves. That's why, you know what I mean? Right. People are into shit like that. But Lil Wayne was real, you know what I mean?
Instrumental with
real instrumental.
Right.
Then a lot of these children, like Blue said, they're influenced by pornography. They're influenced by the rappers. They're influenced by all of these messages that are saying not to be chivalrous. You know what I mean? To be a bad boy, to be a dog. You know what I'm saying? To be a savage. And the shorty will like you even more. Right. You know what I'm saying? Like,
and then remember, they getting hit with these divergent instructions and narratives to be pimping and simping at the same time. Right?
Well, it's like being a hustler.
I'm pimping, right? Yeah, but you can have whatever you like. So they're like, wait, what? Excuse me?
You said it, brother. It's like,
But then I am seeing, and I don't know if this is only internet based, but I'm seeing beautiful couples, young brothers that are marrying these, young sisters from the Black Girl Magic, Black Girl Melanin Poppin' movement.
Real quick, somebody named Prissy Jassy in the chat said, "Men don't even have emotions; they don't fall in love." What would you say?
I would say that her experiences, based off of the decisions that she may make in life, or the people who are magnetized to her energy, they're not displaying the heart that so many of us have. You know what I mean? They're not displaying the empathy or the sympathy that somebody has for someone that they're not only attracted to but interested in.
Let me keep it real.
But real quick, Blue. But
No,
I'm
I'm
sure
just saying.
every woman y'all have had, the woman has fallen in love before y'all fell in love with them.
I wouldn't say that's necessary.
No?
That's not every woman.
Not every.
Okay,
Not every
all right.
woman.
I'm just checking.
It's kind of odd when it's the other way around. That shit kind of weird feeling like you want to get way into the heart house, like
The hard house.
just do the Netflix, please.
Yeah. I mean, the last situation I was in, I told her, "You gonna fall in love with me." She wasn't in love yet. but then she did. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't all the way there
You
yet,
were
but I
girlfriend.
was. You feel me?
Yeah.
But then I had to step back even because of my past experiences. Even this year, I had this conversation at the beginning of this year where I said, you know what? I'm at my age where I can openly admit, because I asked around, can you define what love means? Can you define what love means? Can I get a definition of love? And people were kind of stuck. Like, I wasn't getting definitive answers. So I had to ask myself, do I know what love means? You know what I'm saying? And the thing that I walked away from, the definitive definition that I was able to create for myself that kind of gave me some sanity is love means the highest level of appreciation for a person or thing. You know what I'm saying? So if you're doing something that's not in alignment with the highest appreciation, because if you have the highest level of appreciation for someone or something, there's just certain things that you wouldn't do.
Yeah.
The rest of that stuff didn't balance out. I put it all through the shifter and it was like, nope, that ain't it. That ain't it. That ain't it. You know what I mean? If I remind myself every day that I have the highest level of appreciation for this person, I'm going to have a level of tolerance with them. You know what I'm saying? While they still go through their growing to fall into the highest level of appreciation, not only for me, for themselves. For themselves. So we have to look at the fact that, yes, young men are not molded into that overstanding to say, yo, I'm coming into this world looking to have the highest level of appreciation for something.
Nah,
when
not at all.
the narrative that they have been given,
Bust a nut.
smash and pass. She's starting. You know what I'm saying? Can
Bust
you
that.
have a highest level of appreciation for a thought?
What is your thought?
Yeah, what's your thought index? You know what I'm saying?
Can you turn a thought to a thoughtus?
Can you turn a thought to a thoughtus? Do you have it in you? You know what I'm saying? Is that the highest challenge of love? Because if you love her, if you have this appreciation for her, irregardless of what she might be looked at in society, you have the power, you know what I'm saying, potentially to transform her into a thoughtus. Does that mean that she's not a thought anymore? I mean, no, she's a thoughtus.
Upgrade.
Okay? You see the goddess in her.
Right.
You see the goddess in her, and she sees it in herself. And she's willing to let that thing hang out in the best way that she knows how.
Right.
And we have to be respective of the process. Man. That's another thing.
Trust the process.
I got to go back.
Go back.
When you asked about, you know, what we got to say
Right.
to
On your
people.
charge, the 7-day charge, right.
7-day charge. Yo, even this is for yourself, family, and for the people around you, especially the people online. You know what I'm saying? Respect people's process.
Salute.
You know what I mean? This is not overnight.
Not
I've
at
been
all.
doing this for 20 plus years. It's not, I don't have it 100% under wraps. Like, it's not running on autopilot all the way. I still got to go through checks and balances to make sure, you know what I'm saying, that my nigga chip hasn't taken over.
Fact.
And has created this illusionary cataracts on my eyes to have me seeing something that's not there. We're seeing examples of that in real time.
That's right, bro.
Okay?
Yeah.
Somebody got some program running that's telling them something that everybody else is seeing differently.
Let me add to
feel me? So-
remind me, we talked about it before on Black Magic. The glyph in Kemet for love, or the attribute is myrrh. The glyph is a plow. So the ancestors would associate the affectionate principle of love or myrrh exchange with a plow, meaning that you had to work in order to establish it. You have to work towards it. Me and my current
It's a
mate,
process.
What me and her established in our conversation was, coming together, agreeing to come together, work together, and work on each other. We're creating another being, like just our interaction with another being. And that being is almost, it's new to the planet. It's new to us, right?
Absolutely.
We're planning and netting together this new being. So every time that we make a conscious decision to build into this new being, it grows maturity. So that goes into what Blue was saying is about respecting our process with each other, that we're growing this being called love or affection with each other.
You have appreciation
being
for this.
compassionate with the process,
Like
respecting
a
our
baby,
process. And like a baby, it's like, your child, if you yell and scream at it, because they didn't know, then you get empathy. Oh, like you remember they didn't know. Same thing in your relationship. Your relationship may be a year, 2 years in, getting to know each other from a lifetime and not knowing each other for a lifetime. You know what I'm saying? And now you coming together just watering each other. You know.
When the sister asked about, the men and their lack of compassion, that's what she's saying. They don't have empathy. They don't have necessarily the mechanism to even care, let alone to feel, let alone getting them to a place where they're like, oh, I'm in love. You feel me? They're looking at Offset and Cardi B.
Yeah, love is vulnerable.
And saying, oh, that's love. She gave him a pass to smash.
Facts.
She loves him. You know what I'm saying? But then the question becomes to the young man that's looking at this to say, well, did he love her enough? Not to smash, because he loved her enough to propose to her a week later. Like,
So let's speak to that. So what I'm seeing with Cardi and Offset, he is exalting the principle of wanting to be with his potential wife. She's facilitating him. We're seeing in real time them growing from like an infant, to a baby, right? And so the baby's kind of tripping and falling, and some part of his member.
The baby might have lean in his system. Let's be clear.
Okay, you're right. Okay, the baby may have lean, but look, let's think about it. Let's think about it. The whole time Offset had his career, right, in the public, he never exalted like this, right? So this is a new attribute for him.
Look at my dog.
You know what I'm saying? To exalt, to exalt and say, okay, now I want to ceremonialize this particular woman. We've never seen him do that, so he has to almost detox from his previous accumulation of being a rock star, rap star. He's had a certain type of DNA already built. And in his exalting of this new goddess in his life, he has to almost publicly detox. Well, she's actually forcing it too, because she's letting it be known. She's no joke. She's letting it be known in real time. Right. So he has to detox before our eyes. And he's gonna make mistakes. Back to what you said. Be patient. Respect people's process.
Trust the process. Right. She's trusting his process.
Right.
And
which I think is dope, because we don't really see a lot of our sisters really publicly doing that. So I think that's a positive salute, that she's actually, she could have did the love and hip hop thing and edit, cut it, whatever. Yeah. But she in real time is saying, okay, brother, get it together.
Let's get it together. So she's trusting his process, because he's doing it in real time in public.
Right.
Beyonce trusted Jay-Z's process.
Yeah.
In real time.
That's deep,
you know what I'm saying? And this is a process that through humility, right? First through embarrassment, now through humility, is being shared with the world. How dope is that?
That's dope.
You feel me? So yes, I have nothing but faith in my heart for what comes after this in regards to healthy melanated relationships.
I love that.
And an emphasis on monogamous ones this year.
Come on. Yeah.
Let's focus on that first.
That's the foundation.
You know what I'm saying? Let's tighten that up.
Tighten that up first.
Let's get some examples of that. What way we can build. You don't build from the top down. Let's build from the bottom up.
To your point, Blue, is that if you have a masterful one-on-one interaction, right? Then you can have multiple kids, right? If you choose to do so, right?
Yeah.
So if y'all's love or myrrh got you to have one child, which is the monogamy, and you've mastered feeding, maintaining, growing, sustaining that, then now if you say let's add more kids, more love, then now you have a foundation to reflect back on to build
platforms, right?
Let's move on to veganism. We've seen veganism continue to explode year after year after year after year.
Yeah, another prophetic clip we did.
The Kyrie Irving.
Commercial came right after that.
Yeah, right after, about a week after that.
Hey.
How does it? What do you see? We had the What the Health documentary this year. You actually had that in your Could you go to that? Could you go straight to that, or?
Yeah, we're there right now.
Oh, you did right there. All right, good. I'm gonna let you build on it then.
No, ask your question.
Wasn't a question.
He wants to know. Yes, veganism was another one of the trending topics of 2017.
Facts.
It had a meteoric rise. It became part of the normal lexicon of society. There were a lot of helpers who were pushing and mining for it to become, you know what I'm saying, this phenomena years prior, but this year it had its breakout year. You know what I'm saying?
And
The
then
coin,
with Amazon,
the term was coined in 1944. We got to put that in there, of course.
yes, you do.
Okay, vegan was coined in 44. Yes, with the purchase of Whole Foods by Bezos, by
right.
Amazon.
That's the investor stamp. That's the
Yeah.
Wall Street stamp.
Street
That's
stamp.
the technology. Big tech said this is the way
No,
to go.
yeah, the biggest company in the world.
The biggest company in the world.
Outside of
Probably,
Apple.
Excuse me.
The first company that's going to be valued at $1
$1
trillion.
Yeah, the biggest.
Amazon or Apple? Which one's
Amazon, number one,
Amazon's
top
bigger
of
than
the,
Apple?
yep, top of everything. So they said they're worth a few billion. Our people's minds thinking numbers. I guess it's a West African thing. I don't know. We're number orientated.
Yeah.
So when they saw that, they started flying into Whole Foods even more when it opened up in Harlem. Wait, no, Amazon bought that? Oh, nah. What? You know what I'm saying? It gives things value
Did y'all
to
see?
it.
Did y'all see the shift in prices when Amazon did it in Harlem? Because I saw it in Newark, in downtown Newark.
Yeah,
They
$10
designed
avocados.
Whole Foods specifically to compete with regular supermarkets.
Fact.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Supermarkets. So it's literally you can spend $100 in there and come back out there with like 10 bags.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, they switch it up. But mainly when Amazon bought it, because before it came to downtown Newark,
that's why
it was
it
still expensive.
No, yeah,
And
Amazon made a directive that they were going to change prices in all of their Whole Foods.
Yes.
Let's be clear, and this, we're going to veer just briefly to talk about business. Amazon, even their purchasing of Whole Foods is not necessarily an endorsement of health and wellness as a industry.
Right.
It was a real estate move for them for distribution centers.
Woo, that's right.
So
I do see
right.
the Amazon wall in there, the lockers and stuff.
Yeah, Amazon is in business to take losses. They're not concerned. They don't allocate to shareholders. The shareholders got to ride for the longer vision.
Wow.
For the long run, you're not getting in to get out. That's not what he's in it for.
Netflix too.
So yeah, he's set up to take losses. So his thing is like, look, we got to get the people in here to buy this food. Let's cut the prices, even if we're taking losses initially. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
We're gonna get better prices in the long run. You know what I mean? And if we don't, we'll strip this shit down and make it an Amazon distribution center warehouse. Because no, you gotta understand.
That's deep.
44% of households that own Amazon Prime are in the upper median earnings.
Yeah.
So they deal with upper middle class households. You know what I'm saying? Amazon is not something that's focused on the lower middle class or the middle class. It's upper middle class. And the communities that these upper middle class exist in is where Whole Foods is at. So Whole Foods already did the job for them of getting exactly where they need to be. So now they focused on distribution and say, look, we need to rival, because they got plans to put the post office and all of them out of business. And the only way they could do that is having these on-site distribution centers, because they want to deal with 1 day, 1 hour, 2 hour delivery.
Drone delivery.
So I would add to brothers and sisters, when you go to Whole Foods, since that's we were talking about here in veganism, please make sure you look at all of the packaging, read the ingredients still. Do not take for face value. When I was little, my mom always told me, just because you go to a natural health food store does not mean you have to read everything. Today, me and my daughter went shopping, right? And she wanted some type of vegan lemonade. So I said, okay, let's look at the grams of sugar. And she said, yeah, Dad, I'm not going to have nothing that's more than 5 grams. And so it was some organic dope,
Label, right.
mango, something. It was like, and then we looked and it said 28 grams of sugar.
Damn.
Now it was organic, it was cane sugar, right? It was good, better than whatever, but it's
Right.
28 grams of sugar. So you can still get caught out there,
Right.
trying to do the right thing and still kind of running into some walls. So
Right.
I would say, brothers and sisters,
Can we
please
speak to that?
read.
There's a
Yeah.
level of commercialization that is going on with this
With the veganism movement.
because now it has jumped.
But look at
around.
McDonald's. You said McDonald's. Now McDonald's has the McVegan burger.
Vegan for you.
Right.
niggas.
Right? So, again, now they're trying to jump up inside this thing. But this has been brewing for a minute because even Pepsi and Coca-Cola bought
Computer's about to die.
Oda Water. You know, the Oda Water drinks.
they
I'm saying,
bought
and another one, the Boathouse. Oda Water.
They bought Boathouse. They bought Oda Water.
And then another
and
big
I
one.
think
Yeah,
one of them just came and bought that company that Jessica Alba and them have created.
But they got a company?
Yeah,
Okay.
she got a company that's banging. Honest.
Yeah,
Honest, okay.
Yeah, she got bread for that.
Yeah, she got bread for that.
So to your point, Blue, and
all of them have been
the
snatched
conglomerates now are getting stakes in this thing and this, and I think people who really want to have better quality of health got to get away from the pop culture aspect of what vegan is and really get into the daily application of how that shows up for you. Like, because
What would be pop culture veganism?
pop culture veganism is following the the trend and the wave of the new wave. It's and you ain't really applied nothing in your 7-day formula. You still inboxing Blue and KT and myself. What do I do? We done give you a zillion lectures, gave you the books, and because you memed out. You're memed out. You're getting all this information and you're not applying anything. That's why I say slow it all down. Before I tell you people even drink any greens, I say, are you hydrating? That's the first thing I tell a client. I say, how much water are you drinking? Let's have a conversation on water based upon what your body is made of. Don't even talk about, let's say calisthenics, right? Before I was talking about resistance training with weights. That's the greens. Let's talk about calisthenics, your own body weight, water in your body. How much are you committed to nurture that? Can I empower you on a charging regimen on you having your hydration, understand the science of hydration, how your kidneys, how your colon, how your prostate in your man and in the woman, your womb will be benefiting. And once you see the value of that, then we can add the other principles, right? But what happens is, because veganism is such the cultural thing now, everybody on IG is now becoming it. All the sports teams are now saying, I saw one sports team that said they're vegan now. I think a baseball team
Texans.
or football team. Okay,
Yeah,
right.
Texans.
So it's a good, in concept, I think it's wonderful. Fundamentally, find what works for you. And Blue said last segment about respecting people's processes. Don't be dogmatic with your process.
Yeah.
Everybody has their expression in it. Okay, it's because you want to eat sunflower seeds and quinoa, and that's all you eat.
Right.
Because it works for you, may not work for me, Blue, Red, or Brother Rich, and it's okay. It doesn't have to.
Make that the sad diet.
That's my point. My thing is,
Big
share your benefits. If that works for you, share. Get, and I like I always say with people, I say, listen, hey, because I was born and raised in it, I have a different view in being a vegan, so I don't have a dogmatic view. I like to break bread with everybody. Like, hey, tell me what the plant, works here. I remember me and KT did the thing, on your when we first built together in Harlem. KT was breaking down the different types of plants that are medicinal that people don't even talk about in nature on that segment, and how you can, if you were stranded, how you can eat those plants to sustain yourself. Like, I love building with other vegans that have something that I don't know about, right? And we exchange information. Now, also, some things may work for you that may not work for me. Our bodies are different. You know what I'm saying? We come from multiple tribes, multiple bloodlines.
Yes.
And so how your body shows up with certain things may vary a little bit.
Right.
So be open to exchange information. Don't make something apocalyptic, like putting out information like to say this one thing does not work for melanated people or black people. That's so apocalyptic because it may not be true. You may have melanated black people that are perfectly fine with that for 30, 40, 50 years and get health benefits. Now, it may not work for you. And share that. Be open to say, okay, this works for me, this doesn't work for me. And that's been my only critique. I'm excited about it. My only critique is that we shouldn't become enemies based on dogmatism if someone doesn't, drink what's the name of that water you have, Brother Rich?
Drink a hybrid.
Essentia versus smart water. Like, I'm not going to game bang. I'm not going to we transverse this game banging mentality to everything we do. What God or goddess you worship, who you pray to, and what type of water, what types of greens.
Then
it's
once
like,
they get through that, they like, yeah, what kind of vegetables you eat? And they pull out the Sabi approved list.
hold them down.
Let me see if this is a hybrid or not.
Yeah, they can go through your bag where you get the train station.
So, yes.
We got the police in the train station to search your bags. They got a corner with mad vegans and shit and be like, yo, is that a Whole Food bags? I send them over. Let me see, Sabi list. Thou art in violation of commandments 18:360. Thou shalt not eat brown rice.
So that's been my thing, Brother Rich, is really just having people, using the platform of Health and Wellness to exchange information. And so we can, the whole point is for our people, melanated people, to be healthy, right? Then we need to start with fundamentals. We need to start with, it goes into what Blue said about properties of breathing. We know our body needs to move daily, some type of form of martial arts or calisthenics or yoga, some type of movement daily. Right. Making sure you have some forms of greens, whatever they may be, from super mega greens to whatever greens you mess with on a regular basis. Right. Like Dr. said, we talked about having cell food inundated in you on a longer basis allows your body the melody to be charged. So making just basic commitments and finding your rhythm, I feel, will be the magic of really activating the time of this vegan revolution that we're in right now.
I want to end it on this note for the vegan revolution, and I also want to encourage the brothers and sisters that are on that path to be very proud of themselves. I just want to say that health is wealth, and it's finally begin to show itself.
I love it, brother.
Because the vegan industry is now an industry unto itself.
Oh, yeah.
The seed planters.
And it's disrupting.
And it's a disruptor. But the seed planters of those industries are part of each one of our legacies.
Come on.
Health
Salute.
is wealth.
Salute.
So if black people claim that they poor and they don't got nothing, the best thing that you got as a black man and a woman is your health. To the point where you could just be, you could be homeless, but if you do push-ups on film, if you do sit-ups and everything, and you build a regimen, and you're on YouTube, you got your own channel, or you're promoting the exercise and the form and everything, and you're teaching, you're adding wealth naturally, just breathing. Because remember, they jacking your slang.
Jacking your slang.
Some people just came along and got healthy recently.
Come on.
And they jacking your slang.
Jacking your
3 cuts in the eyebrow.
Trying to wild out.
Breathing. They taking your form.
The game desires will never foul out.
Never foul out. So the gentrifiers, they jacking your slang.
Oh my God.
This is something.
Where can I get that?
Oh, no, keep talking, Red.
This is something
SupaMegaGreens.com.
that we can
SUPA.
attest to. We could testify
MGA.
in the testament that we
Greens.
saw our parents, our uncles, our aunties,
Yep.
and all of them planting the seeds for the revolution that we're now a part of. And it's $1 billion industry. So brothers and sisters, you could begin to be healthy and be wealthy.
Come on.
By being healthy at the same time. How could you say this is not a great time to be alive?
Great time to be alive.
In
What
the
a time.
80s, they didn't want to be healthy like this. In the 90s, they did not want to be healthy like this. Yes, I know the deaths are climbing up and things of that nature, but the pendulum is definitely swinging. There are a lot of people who are
Right.
nursing the concept of living to be 100 and 100 plus.
Centurions.
There are people who are with the shits.
Yeah.
And they're like, I ain't ready to tap out as of yet.
Yeah.
I'm going to stick around and do some more disrupting.
Come on.
I'm going to teach this to the children and to the babies who are going to take this further than where we have taken this.
Red is on it. My grandmother just turned 94. And she takes her greens
That's right.
3 times a day.
3 times a day.
And before they said she had gout, she started doubling up her dosage, and now she can walk with no cane.
That's right.
So
to your point, Red.
we understand that on this planet where everything is being shown to you in real time, that there's not a lot of the illusions that you are under, the spell that was casted upon you, the blindness of not only your third but your 2 eyes, is that you put too much values in things that were not real. They were part of the holographic universe.
Wow.
What was very important is the fact that you procreate. That's important. That's on the list. You dig what I'm saying? To be fruitful and multiply. That's how you keep our bloodline. That's how you keep our numbers going. That's how you keep the abundance of human life.
Abundance.
You're supposed to want to live in abundance. This planet
abundance.
is large enough to feed and to clothe and to house even every single one of us.
Word.
They have you thinking in scarcity. They have you thinking in lack. They have the relax thinking in lack, and that is reflecting in your society that we live in.
Talk about
the universe, the holographic universe that niggas are creating. You know what I'm saying? The auric field
Come
and
on.
the photon field that niggas have created in a nigga mind. It's a horror story at the end of the day.
Wow.
It's a graveyard where people are well dressed cadavers, but they're not healthy. They're trying to look healthy. You cannot wear red bottoms and clean clothes and think that relegates to healthy looking. You know what I'm saying? But that's what the internet, that's what the matrix, that's what the illusion, that's what Photoshop has done to us. You feel me? People are only impressed with the outer. They're only impressed with the jewelry. They're only impressed with the hologram,
The shell,
with the
yeah.
avatar, with the shell.
Not the
But
work
they're
that goes
not
in.
realizing that the power, and every day we're getting closer to a reality where your wealth is going to be monetized. It's going to be part of your social capital.
Social capital.
Health is wealth.
Health is
You know what I'm
wealth.
saying?
Yes, brother.
With this new thing, probably with this Trump thing, they're gonna start grading people about how much you're worth based off of your health. Because remember, this organ donor thing is real big.
Yes, brother. Talk about
You know
it.
what I mean?
Wow, that's deep.
So we have to keep in mind that ye are wealthy. We have the knowledge in our brain. Some of these herbs are part of our DNA makeup. For those of us that could trace our ancestry back to different places in West, in South, in North Africa, you also are you are tied in with the herbs. You're
yeah,
tied in
that's
with the
right.
pixie dust. You're tied in with everything of that land because ye are from the land.
Come on. That's right.
So we better take back. Don't let them run with, you know what I'm saying, with kale salad. That's not theirs. You better, like Sabi said, the food came with you. You're not a polar bear eating hamburgers. The food's supposed to come with you. That's your food.
That's
Make
your
your
stuff.
money. Build your restaurants. Make your food trucks. Get on your Uber Eats. You know what I'm saying? Be a part of that.
Right.
How did we live in Harlem and there was no Big Mama to call to bring chicken wings to the block? You know what I'm saying? Or bring Thanksgiving plates every day while we was out there. Fish plates, fish and fries. We used to call, remember in St. Croix, people had their windows open in Harlem in the 80s, not just St. Croix, in the 80s in Harlem, they had the ices on their windowsill. They had candy on their windowsill. They was giving us plates. You know what I mean? Community. Society.
That was when community
Health is
was
part of
community.
community.
Yeah.
Tilling the earth and building. I'm running into people that say, yo, I got 20 acres. Red, I got 100 acres. Red, I got 30 acres. Why are you not the next? Why are you not looking like the next Whole Foods then?
Wow, brother. Yeah, brother. That's
You grow the food,
That's-
you put it on a truck. It's not difficult. People are making billions doing it. What are we waiting for?
Right.
But now to deal with the direct flip of what we identified as health is wealth with the vegan revolution, our next topic is mumble rap that I've identified as being part of a demographics where health is not wealth.
yeah.
Health is not wealth. Sipping on promethazine, you know what I'm saying? That's not healthy. Popping what is known as Xannies and Percocets, that's not healthy. Popping, taking dope laced with phenticide, or what is it called?
Fentanyl, right?
Fentanyl. That's not healthy. Anal sex with another man, that's not healthy.
healthy.
What we're seeing taking place in what we call the death culture is the reverse of what it is, because they're talking about eating bad food. They're promoting a bad way of taking care of themselves, healthy, going raw dog with the plan B. You know what I'm talking about? So I'm just saying that certain kind of lifestyles have been promoted through the genre that we're identifying with mumble rap that many of us are in love with. To the point where mumble rap had its meteoric year. You understand? It had its meteoric year this year. Okay? This was its inauguration into dominant. This was his knighting event. It was on a steady climb through the years of 15
That's deep,
and
bro.
16.
Yeah.
But this year, it grabbed the crown.
Crystallized.
Kanye is down. Man down.
Man down. Yeah.
Do you understand? Man down.
We ain't hear nada, no sermon, not one speech all year.
Oh, yeah.
And nobody called the
And
president.
nobody asked for it either. Nobody
Not
questioned.
one
That's
Kanye.
deep. What happened to my brother?
Not one.
That's
Not
deep.
one.
You haven't heard a sentence from him.
To the point when they did their list with Joe and Charlemagne, they didn't even mention he's a non-mention. He's been. They did Men in Black on us. But anyway.
When did he go into the sunken place? Kanye?
He went into the sunken place around a year ago when Trump
December.
became president.
Yeah.
Late 2016.
After remember he met with Trump in the lobby?
Yeah.
That was the last time we seen him.
That was in December or whatnot.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So the Migos, Tekashi 6ix9ine, Little Pump, XXXTentacion, Lil Peep,
Lil Uzi Vert.
Lil Uzi Vert, Lil Yachty, okay, 21 Savage, Cardi B, the rise and the dominance. Men lie, women lie, numbers don't. They dominated the streaming services. They have tripled the numbers on YouTube. They are what is known as viral sensations. There's no other act in rap or in the genre that are doing numbers like the mumble rappers. This year in particular, they have a large contingency of fans globally. There's a global campaign. There's a global campaign with the mumble rappers, right?
Right.
So they have exposure because hip hop through the streaming, through, you know what I mean, through World Star, through YouTube, it's a global thing now. So
Yeah. They work in the social networks.
they work in them social networks,
in the social
and
networks. They
it's
doing their
working in the
numbers.
favor of the youth, right? With the youth energy, and the youth energy is tapping in to an energy that is a reflection and a duplicate energy of what was brought forward by Biggie Smalls and Puffy during the Benjamins era. The Gucci's still here with us. The Louis still here with us. The bottle popping is still here with us. The groupies are still here with us. The Coogis came back. They're here with us. You know what I mean? So it's a continuing loop of a spell or a script.
It was all a dream.
It was
As
all
I
a
said,
dream.
We all live inside of Biggie Small's dream.
That's what Blue has said. Facts.
That's part of Law 44.
That's part of Law 44.
Show me different. We live in B.I.G's dream.
Super
Two
fact.
children that were both Roman Catholic, went to Catholic school, who brought forth a level of materialism that has been unmatched ever since. You know what I'm saying? And yeah,
And that's what people they're repeating that now, not knowing it. They won't acknowledge it. There's conversations about who's the father of trap music and stuff like that between T.I. and I hope not Jeezy, because T.I. comes way before the whole Jeezy thing.
but
He's the progenitor.
Jeezy kind of popularized the phrase with trap music.
I understand, but you still
And
have to acknowledge
his splash was a little bit, his ripple.
It was supposed to, because he's the 2.0. T.I. came and laid the foundation. Jeezy came with the foundation with BMF.
Right.
It's a different bag.
It's a different
But
trap.
It's a different trap. But it wouldn't have resonated
But look,
if T.I. didn't lay that down.
okay, we getting into some interesting places. I'm gonna use some of this. Jeezy was to T.I.
Yeah.
what Jay was to Big.
Facts.
Okay.
Facts. I
So
can see that.
you got one dude in the trap house, right, moving work, and then the industry of trap houses came.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? The White House of the trap house comes, and they're like, whoa. So same way that Big was talking about jums, moving dimes and
Willie
nickels,
shit.
you know, crack sales, and then Jay came talking about moving weight. Willie
Different.
shit.
Yeah, Willie shit.
The conversation didn't even catch on in the community because people was like, what's that?
Yeah. And
Like,
Jay had
they wasn't
more,
the plug.
Jay had
and
more
only thing they know is go
credibility.
uptown to Orhay, buy some work on Broadway, break it down and bring it back to the block. You know what I'm saying? You get a brick, you go out of town. Nobody was talking about, you know what I'm saying, chefing up hella bricks. So that's the same way that I see that the trap, T.I. was talking about his one trap. Jeezy came and they're talking about a global trap because BMF was a federation where every one of them had a trap.
Facts.
Every one that you're looking at represents one or more traps.
But it couldn't have gone the other way around. That's what I'm just trying to share with you. Everything is a natural progression
Okay.
of one thing. It has to start somewhere. So that's where it starts.
So T.I. was the trap.
We find
Trap
ourselves
boy.
at the same
Who was
time.
emulating Jay, and Jay comes off of B.I.G.
Yeah.
So it was all a change.
So
It's interesting how the rise of the knighting happened, and the godfather of the industry has taken a knee.
Look, hip hop turns 44 this year, right?
Facts.
So
Right.
Cool Herc could be walking down the motherfucking block, and unless you're a hip hop aficionado, a connoisseur, you would just allow him to walk by you.
Facts.
If
I've been on the
Africa
train with him
Bambaataa,
plenty times when people did not understand why I was acting like a fanboy.
facts. You know what I'm saying?
Can I tie your shoes? What the fuck?
Yeeting, like,
Yeah, like,
oh my goodness, like, you know what I'm saying? If African Bambaataa just, he was on, you know what I mean, just passed by, people would be like, I know that man from somewhere, but they wouldn't look at him like Russell Simmons.
Right, right.
So you have pioneers who are attributed for the fathers of it, and that's always, you know, and this goes with everything. There's always the real person,
Right.
then there's that Hollywood that they put in
the
front.
industry.
Then there's the industry version. There's the Kinko's clone.
Right.
There's always the Dan Darada, the Dan Gargan. You know what I mean? There's always the original source.
Right.
Then it's all of the duplicates.
it's a Jeezy and a Meech.
Exactly. So he represents that. You understand?
Industry.
Russell and it's a double duo. It's Russell and Rick Rubin.
Ooh, okay.
Russell and Rick Rubin debos the Def Jam from the dude who was in the Zulu Nation, and Russell takes over. Russell is the cokehead.
Wait, okay, let's put the name in. Is it L.A.?
Is Jazzy J? Wait,
Was it Jazzy J?
from Zulu Nation?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was Jazzy J.
Yeah. So he moves him out of the picture. He comes in with Rick Rubin. They build up the conglomerate Def Jam. He goes down in history as the father, the godfather of
The
hip hop.
Godfather, right.
Rick Rubin goes about his business and becomes invested in rock and roll, which he comes out of. The same. Hold on,
he's
the
part of-
same
he's part of
death metal.
serious records, too.
No, I'm saying
He's part of some
the
serious
same wave that took over hip hop this year, though.
Right.
Because they was wearing. Everybody was a rock star, not just in speech. Niggas
Right.
looked the part.
Right.
The only thing they was missing was big hair, but they had all of the look. They had the rip. They had. I was seeing
Everything.
bands I forgot about from Friday night videos,
Yeah.
hot tracks. I'm like, damn.
I just said, okay, we showing our age. That was talking about hot tracks. Yo, all shots of
These
180,
niggas running around with zippers on their jeans.
Hot tracks.
I'm not mad at that. Yeah, I ain't mad at that. Niggas running around on some rock star.
Right.
Rick Rubin brought that in.
Death
When you
metal.
look at death metal. When you look at the DNA of hip hop, you will find nobody more prominent than him.
Yeah,
he
he's
brings that
prominent. Yeah, he
in
brings
the
that in.
mix.
Yeah.
Beastie Boys, Run DMC, putting them with Aerosmith. You know what I mean?
Hot
That
Chili
way.
Peppers breakout record. Let's
Yes.
Sugar Magic.
Yes.
That's all him.
In the lecture Blueprint 322 that we did in 09, I went in on Rick Rubin and they showed you in the Jay-Z documentary when he had the fez on the bear and he's like, I'm into white and dark magic. Anyway, he goes,
Right.
so he falls from grace this year. Russell falls from grace this year. The article on Rick Rubin that nobody is talking about is Rick Rubin is still retweeting alt-right nut jobs. Rick Rubin is alt-right.
Wow.
He's following.
Pioneers of hip hop is alt right.
When I saw Joe Button and them had a stream and they brought it up and I went and checked it out. Oh shit!
What did they say? What was it?
They was blowing him up. They was like, get the motherfucker out of here. All right.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then Russell, who's the godfather of the culture in his 44th year, right? The one that people attribute to selling the keys to the office. If anybody's saying who sold it out and who sold out a lot of other people and who may have some souls in the mason jar, they point to him, right? And you see that he's still active up until this day because he was implicated in the Terry Crews scandal because he was telling him to do the hush hush, right? So he's a gatekeeper.
He's the bag man.
Yeah, he's a kingmaker as well. He's the kingmaker. He's the gatekeeper. He's the keeper, you know what I mean, of secrets and whatnot. Him and Rick Rubin are the fathers, are seen as the architects of the culture. They fell in his 44th year.
Facts.
Rick Rubin fell on his face for this shit right here, and my man had to step down, and he got them boys on his back. You know what I'm talking about? And he got them people on his back. But are we seeing divine karma taking place in some of these stories and some of these exposés that we've seen, you know what I mean, over this year? Was this year defined as big karma? Was this year? Because there was a lot of people getting washed. This shit was
Big Pharma, Big Harma.
yeah, it was indicative of that superstorm that took place in Houston. We have a problem. A lot of people was getting washed this year, especially after the solar eclipse. You know what I'm talking about? The tsunamis came.
Tsunamis, man.
So he got washed. They took him down in a way that no documentary could. They took him down in a way that no expose on hip hop could. They took him down in a way that no rapper's tweet could. Or nobody saying, yo, Russell touched me as well. Like we heard about Bambaataa. What if somebody came out and did the same thing on Russell, who had the stronger of two rumors, the strongest of the rumors, because Bam had his rumors, but the rumor on this man has been stronger than that.
Yeah.
But he got ridiculed with a tweet, with an accusation inside of a storm. Remember, this is a ritual taking place. So this whole Me Too thing is not what you think it is. This was a natural disaster
after Maria too.
If there's a rise in medieval themes, I'm gonna get into that. This year saw the rise in medieval themes. Game of Thrones, the brooch on the lady's thing with the Moors in Spain. The alt-right and their fascination with medieval thing. The shit that you saw in Charlottesville where they all came out with the shields and whatnot. You dig what I'm saying? The xenophobia in Europe. The whole talk of a crusades coming. All of these things. The flat earth conversation. All of these things speak to medievalness. The rise of medievalness.
Facts.
This would be the Inquisition. Or the beginnings of it. This is how some of this started with heresy. He did it and they'll torture you and burn you and kill you. That's the Inquisition. It was based off of heresy.
Remember the witch hunts?
The witch hunts. Yo, your neighbor was turning you in because they was giving out rewards for anybody who would do what? See something and say something. That was the Inquisition. And they were torturing you and burning you on the cross and doing what? Crucifying you. What took place with Harvey Weinstein, what took place with all of the people who fell this year is a public crucifixion. You can't come back from these accusations.
House of Cards came
falling down on Kaiser Sose.
He fucked up.
Kaiser Sose, that identity got revealed.
All masks come
and he
off.
lost all of his power. Once you get revealed, you lose your power. So they like, nah, he fucked little boys. They pulled his mask on, mask off.
That's what I'm saying. You didn't put Future in that list.
So
the year started with the #1 song, which was Mask On, Mask Off.
Yeah, I should have put
that actually
Hendrix, the father. In my edits, Hendrix goes as the father.
Yeah, because
they died.
From that song,
the dying of the dreads.
That actually shifted all of this.
Yeah, look, Wheezy is Gizmo that they pour dirty Sprite on.
And Future Sprite is Spike.
Future is Spike.
And then these are the Gremlins.
And Young Thug is Spike 2. If they ever do the Gremlins, they come out with Spike.
And all the Gremlins.
You know what I'm saying? Spike Bay. It'll be that nigga. You know what I'm saying? Young Thug will be that. Remember, they poured dirty Sprite.
So they poured
Gizmo. On Gizmo. Uzi will be, remember, Wheezy, Body Tax. Rock and roll persona, double cup, pills, coke, lean, maybe even crack, leggings and jeggings, balancing way past metrosexuality, trisexuality.
Wow.
You understand? Stripper culture. He made wifeys out of the stripper bras. You remember that?
Remember the biggest stripper broad
who legitimized the strippers,
who got 2 #1 hits.
Facts, but I'm saying
no. This you said the stripper broad, like so now.
Not
got the, look who's
not my dude with the credit card, not Nelly and motherfucking Tip Drill. No, who deputized these bras? It was Wheezy. Okay, and Ross and all of them other ones. It came out of Miami and Atlanta. It came out of BMF era. That's a Michi spell right there. That's a Meech code, my nigga. He wrote that. They wrote that. I remember I was at one of the first showers in Magic City. We was Mario and them was in town. It was a bachelor party, so we went to the Magic City. I was witness to one of the first rain showers.
Wow.
When they started making it rain and I saw the faces on the shorties like, yo, they were, it was almost like an opiate.
What they was doing?
Dubs, Harriet Tubmans, and singles. You understand? And singles and the shorties, and I saw the bags getting filled up. I saw how it changed the atmosphere. Keep in mind, we're talking about we existing in the Biggie era or the Biggie phase. It was all a dream, but you cannot exclude the influence of the Scorpion who's attached to him, Puff Daddy. You understand? Who's still the most highest on the pyramid of highest paid rappers or personalities of hip hop. He's on top of the pyramid. So his influence is monumental.
That's all big energy. If we don't live in his dream, somebody tell me why the man attached to him that ain't been selling nothing after that other than alcohol is sitting at the top of the pyramid.
Please tell me that.
But you got somebody like Jay who's been in the game for 20 plus years, 13 albums, who's a little bit behind him. Where does all this money come from? The Puff guy. That was a successful ritual, bro. You feel me?
So we have all of these. So we can never sit here and throw rocks at 17-year-old, 18-year-olds who probably since 3 and 2 was exposed to these archetypes. Right? These energies.
Demigods.
These demigods. Yo, I want to have the ill drugged out flow like Wayne. Where does he go when he turns into and he's hitting pockets and shit? They want to go there. They want to take that. Elon Musk is going to Mars. Oh, I can't afford that. I'm going to Jupiter and Pluto with these bars. These Xanny bars and Percocets. These niggas is taking trips that many of you probably would never take. They bending the fucking spoon. Are you serious? Yeah. They're tapping in on some capital Steez motherfucking Lamborghini. Because people don't talk about the impact that they got on that culture. You understand? You can see their influence because you don't see the kind of movement and you don't see the growth and you don't see the excitement coming out of each one of those camps anymore. They were the creative minds. They were the lights. They were the divine sparks of those movements.
ASAP and Pro Era.
And Pro Era. And
they was doing acid. They was the first ones talking about shrooms in this particular modern era. And making cocktails of all of that.
Facts. And then you had a group who they didn't give any light to. That's how you know the industry is broken. Underachievers and flatfoot zombies. The whole East, the Beast Coast run. And they did not give them any kind of, even to this day, they don't even mention them in the conversation. They brought forward.
Zombies, they get a little.
They don't get mentioned. No, I don't want to hear. They're not part of that mumble conversation.
They should be.
Underachievers. Specifically,
they nice, man.
They don't mention.
They do not mention their name.
I've heard Flatbush Zombies here and there.
They took Joey Badass and left Pro Era. But anyway, that era's done because this era is in. They had bars and they were double timing and doing all of that.
Right.
But they were talking about the shit that Cambada talks about.
Right. Yeah, they were. Yeah, I remember on TV. I got
they took. That's how they put them on 10 Europe tours. You know what I'm saying? You put them niggas. It's the same thing if I put this. You see, I put this black hoodie through some bleach in the wash, and now it's destructed and faded. They put you on them 10 Europe tours. You come back faded.
Wow.
Tweaking. Niggas got blonde hair, more rock star than ever. You know what I'm saying? You're on some barbiturate, and you're not the same. And then you're talking about you know what I mean? We all we got, but all lives matter. You know what I mean? Like you buy into that because you are the more. You are the more. You are the God. Man make the money. Money don't make the man. You are the prize. You are the talent. You're going around the world. People are coronating you and bowing to you. You're Merkel. You're the chick that Harry is marrying. You're her big brother. Your big homie. You're royalty already. So when you go around the world, people are going to bow down to you like they were doing to you during your era of being a Moor, during the time when you were in power, during the time when your empire was respected and feared at the same damn time and loved around the globe. That's what happened. People will bow down. So rappers go on tour and they fall in love with the world as they should because they see the power. Remember, the black diamond coming out of America is the shit. And it's the entertainer, the athlete, and sometimes the politician. Barack stamped that shit, and he got a lot of the sisters and other people. They've always been luminaries and whatnot. But now, in this social media era, in this time when hip hop is the most dominant genre in the world. Now it's the entertainers. Now it's the rappers. Now it's these icons.
That's right. That's
You
right.
feel me?
Yeah.
These are icons to our babies. These are icons to niggas in their 80s. They managed to do something that a lot of rappers have not been able to do. They've managed to capture the attention of the whole goddamn age spectrum. And through all demographics. You got Indians who turn up. You got Chinese that turn up. Vietnamese who turn up. But they also like hip hop too. Bars as well. I'm not saying that they don't. But they've simplified a formula that works. The damn beat is almost like heroin. How about that? How about the beat is like I'm sipping on lean just listening to the beat. You be like, yo, I'm dancing to a song that's telling me to do the stanky leg. Why am I doing this? My leg has a mind of its own now. There's something in the beat. There's something in the formula.
Well,
and
it's sub bass.
Sub bass.
It's sub bass.
Tribal.
Yeah, it's tribal.
It's tribal, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So it's sub bass. It's hitting you at your root chakra, below your root chakra, and it's pretty much taking over. It's controlling
And
you.
when we went to church, one of my day ones, his grandfather got buried. Rest in peace to him. I went to a church, a Jamaican church, where they had a book of hymns. And when the organs start playing, oh man, if they had a video of your boy, I was like, oh, shut up. You know what I'm talking about? It had me moving.
Right.
These organs that are in this music are the same church organs. They're playing. And you know.
From the South, right?
Yeah.
That's
And
revolution.
you know what I'm saying? So hip hop dethrones rock as the most consumed music genre in the US, right? We have to begin to ask ourselves, you know, with this music being the most dominant music, meaning it has the most influence over the impressionable minds of demographics of youth that we're underestimating. Because remember, they got 800 million views of video because there's that many youth out there. And they're all plugged in.
Yeah.
So their numbers matter.
Yeah.
Niggas getting mad like, yo, how they doing them numbers? I'm like, son, because a lot of you old dudes don't even got smartphones. You're not even they're showing you the numbers and the power of the youth collective. These young rappers remind me of T.I. when he was 17. They remind me of Jeezy when he had to do the BMF thing. But what did he do for people who were thug motivated? It made them step their thing up. Snowman. It made them step their thing up. It made them envision pulling up in a foreign when they never saw themselves in one before. So we gotta trust the process even with these young mumble rappers. They're not gonna come in speaking the Medu Nectar. They're not gonna come in talking about solutions. You cannot turn to a 17-year-old to talk about solutions to the problems that people have that they inherited. They're growing up in this shit. You should have closed the door on a lot of these issues, these leaks that keep popping up a long time ago. So they listening to Kendrick. They letting niggas know if you got the ragu and the swag and the sauce, we gonna rock with you. They rock with the pills. You know what I'm saying? They rock with Rich. They rock with SupaNova. You know what I mean? They feel they feel the vibrations. You know, they vibing with us. So we just gotta say to ourselves, look, show these brothers and sisters a better example. They're rebelling against fuck shit in society. They're rebelling. They're rebelling like you rebelling.
Wow. That's real, bro.
Y'all got rebellion and you're rebelling. You know what I mean? Like y'all have more in common in some senses, not in all senses. Because you experimenting with monatomic silver. You're experimenting with the mushrooms. You're experimenting with the ayahuasca. They're experimenting with the DMT tabs. They're experimenting with the pills. They're experimenting the same way. They want to see something past the veil. You want to see something past the veil. They want to get their dick wet. You want to get yours wet. You know what I'm saying?
They don't trust society.
They don't trust society. In reality,
they're
they're
non-conformists.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Ain't no way that you gonna put a tattoo on this side of your face.
That side.
You know what I mean?
That side.
This whole side of your face.
Yeah.
And you even thinking about becoming part of corporate.
You know what I'm saying?
They've already cast the die.
Yeah.
It took Mike Tyson how many years to do his?
Yeah, they was clowning Mike when he had his face tat. So another topic, we got to keep it moving.
Real quick before you go to the next topic, the brother.
With the other the conscious albums.
Yes,
first?
I will.
Yeah, before we get to that.
Yeah, real quick before you get into the next topic, the brother Sarnetta just texted me. What do y'all expect from the Black Power Awards this year, moving into 2018? Not the Black Power Awards, the Sarnetta TV Awards. Yeah, that's it. Shout out to the Black Power Awards that just happened.
Yes.
Brother DJ. But yeah, Sarnetta's having his awards this summer. Sarnetta TV. What do y'all expect from that?
The conscious community is up for review, and we'll get to that. You feel me? But there's going to be an extremely large onus on the thought leaders of this community, because the largest names in the genre are having a cockfight right now.
Talk about it, Blue. Talk about it.
And the whole world knows what the fuck they looking at. We trying to act like we don't know what we looking at. You know what I'm saying? So the onus is on us to do something totally different than what has been done for legitimacy purposes. We have to become the things that we've been talking about. And then, you know what I mean? We can have however many award shows that we want to have the people come and say, yo, I'm rocking with this. If not, you're going to watch your subscriptions, you know what I'm saying, take a drastic fall because you have a rival that's on your neck by way of the Stay Woke movement. And those people progressively, you know what I'm saying, are making a stake in society that is more inclusive than quote unquote conscious. It's what I was telling people years ago, and all through this year I kept telling you the subconscious community. What about that? You know what I'm saying? What about the females that come into subconscious, you know, where reality is created from? Stay Woke is on your tail, they're on your back with that. And the people that they hate the most, the ones who they got a target on their back, is the ones that's fussing and fighting right now in the public. So the feminists is just going to sit by and waiting, right? Like all people do, to see these niggas take each other out, right? For Umar to go level 2 and put the information out there, and then they're going to watch to see, okay, then we're going to come and we're going to try to marginalize the rest of this. But I do expect, as Sarnetta has always been at the forefront, he's going to see an angle. He's going to figure it out. Don't get pulled into it, because Umar threw the he threw the alley-oop to you yesterday. Don't put the match together. Take the high road. Find a way to unify them brothers in public. These platforms.
That's what I would like to see. To your point, Blue. That's what I like to see. I like to see
in society. The people, they say they want leaders. We know that they want the fuck shit. We can look at the numbers and say, we can see how they show up. They with the shits. It's in their blood. The society's run off of salt and sugar. Don't judge them. It's in their DNA. It's in their blood. This is what's coursing through their veins. But their higher form, their higher self, they want something that they haven't seen the reality as of yet. They're in love with the mirage of unity. But they ain't seen that shit yet. Wow. Whoever could bring it to them now, especially post Black Panther, Sarnetta, then you'll own this thing. You know what I'm saying? And when I say own it, I'm just saying you'll put your mark on something that people really want to be inclusive on. You know what I'm saying? People want to play the part, but they're not the leaders. They want to be led. You feel me? And until that shit show up, they're going to be the fucking gremlins. They got the water spilt on them, talking all this gizmo shit. You know what I'm saying?
Mad gremlins.
Mad gremlins.
Well,
Mad gremlins.
Y'all can hit up Sarnetta's YouTube page for more information. Go to Black News 102 or Sarnetta Studios.
Salute, Sarnetta.
Yeah, for more information on that. But it'd be dope to see everybody in one room at the same time.
It would be dope to see.
Post Black Panther. After all of this, see
Post Black Panther
and Umar in the room. You know what I'm saying? That'd be dope.
To see people get recognized.
Right. Come on.
And to see people get, just appreciated, to be shown appreciation for their tireless commitment to the upliftment of the edification, the education, you know what I'm saying, the growth and development and the transformation of people who they never even met a day in their life. Powerful. But the impact that they're having on millions of people, those people deserve to see that person to get recognized in real time by his peers, to see other peers get on stage and give it up.
Give it up.
Meaning give up the fucking ego. That's what giving
Give it up, turn it loose.
entails.
Give it up,
you
turn
gotta
it
be
loose.
able to give up that fake ass persona of everybody. One nigga's better than everybody. You have to humble yourself and be like, yo, that's my man. And then the man next to you is like, yo, that's my man too. And then everybody that's lined up is giving you claps. And they like, yo, this is my people's right here. I respect him for his work and his contribution. And everybody's not saying it in private, but in public. You know what I mean?
Like, for instance, Shy, if I was to get an award, I would come with the fucking roll down scroll of all the people who had a part to play with the making of what it is that you are giving an award to. You understand?
Salute.
So,
yep, facts.
Umar should be respectful and mindful of all of the platforms that Umar passed through until he got to a Hidden Colors. What made him the hottest lecturer on the circuit for him to even be recognized, for him to get on a larger platform? The praise and the acknowledgement should be inclusive for everybody in the ordeal. Even the people that you got issues with, they still played a part. You know what I'm saying? And when you start taking bits and pieces out of your foundation becomes rocky. It becomes unstable. You understand? So yes, we need the awards, but we need it to be built on something that's so real and so tangible at this particular point that it's gonna bring back the shit that has been fucking damaged.
Well, hey, Rich, you know I'm gonna say to the big homie Sarnetta. Now Sarnetta, a lot of people that came to your platform, and there's some people who came to your platform that united that no longer in your platform. That probably just for the healing of the community, may need to give award to the legacy. Maybe you don't fuck with them per se, but when they were contributing to your platform, I think in honor of who you are and what you represent in the world, it'll be real powerful. Post Black Panther movie coming out, and Blue's talking about with Brother Umar and Brother Tariq, having just a Sarnetta salute. So even if some, brother Sheikh Amin Ra don't mess with you no more. Well, when Sheikh Amin Ra from 2009, 2013 put in work, I'm acknowledge the work he put in. You feel me? That's what the brother said about acknowledging.
That's a part of the building process. Those are bricks in the pyramid.
Yes, beloved.
You cannot take out those bricks in the pyramid.
Talk about it, Red.
Fall.
Yeah, that'd be profound, Sarnetta.
Platforms are places where talent
is harnessed.
It's harnessed and cultivated.
Talk about it, Blue.
You understand?
Yeah,
that's what platforms are. Yeah. That's where the talent. It could be hundreds of people. It could only be one person. There's not that many platforms where the platform is the talent. You understand? So the talent is bringing the worth. The talent is bringing the information. The talent is bringing the light. The talent is bringing the people. The talent is bringing the views. The talent is bringing all of these things. The value. The stocks to the bricks to build that house
of consciousness.
So when is it appropriate? It can't be done in passing because the brick building was not done in passing. That's right. We ain't walking by doing drive-by lectures.
right. No.
So at what point do the contributors who built these pyramids get acknowledged? Because acknowledgement in a day and time where we live in a society where it's all about social acknowledgement. Social capital. Attention is the new currency. Wow. So people want to know that attention is being paid to them for what they bring to the table and what they've done to build up what it is that we're celebrating. And that goes for every. This is not a broad. This is a statement that applies.
Universal.
Yes. You know what I'm saying? So in all platforms, Sarnetta, thank you for leading the way.
Salute,
you did it in 2012. You gave me and my brother an award. I felt appreciated.
Did appreciation.
You know what I'm saying? You did that already. You know what I mean? There was a room full of brothers and sisters walking away with plaques. So when he asked, how do I think it's going to be? I'm like, fam, I was at the one in 2012 and that shit was litty. And we did it on the levels that we could do it in 2012. But you have a 10 million, 100, based on the numbers that I'm saying, you got about a 50 million more people who have been exposed to this movement and what this movement means in this content since then. But this content is laced. with
Right.
other people's contribution.
Yeah, I
It should be
definitely
acknowledged.
I definitely want to move on because we got about 30 minutes left. Before we do, I want to give a shout out to the Black Zionists for sending a donation. That's actually the reformed the troll that
Black Zionist, man.
that brother.
Heal the trolls.
Heal the trolls.
Heal the trolls. Healing of the trolls.
He got healed.
They need healing.
He's still around. He's
Compassion.
smart now.
Oh man, look at that.
He's
See,
smart now.
see what happened when you heal?
Coincidentally enough,
Look at that.
this was the year of the troll.
Wow. Yeah. Wow.
This was the breakout year
Yeah.
of the troll. This is when we saw
That's right.
the power,
The highest of it.
the highest of it,
That's right.
based off of
armies,
based
man.
off of the king of trolls, King Koopa troll, Donald Trump being in the Oval Office and that Gemini energy emanating.
Also anonymous.
I think trolls are Geminis. I think if you were to
Who
run
governs
the
it?
media,
Who governs it?
who governs it? It has to be the duality shit. Cause I ran into Peter Parker trolls, like I ran into people, you know what I'm saying? Like they mad cool on 2/5, but they go home at night and put their mask on and they trolling. They put the horse mask on their keyboard like Peter Parker. They probably got somebody licking their backside. We have a troll niggas. So this was the year that the breakout troll. Right. That Charlottesville, that was troll. You don't know these people are the biggest trolls on the planet. Yeah. They're the ones who send a SWAT to you.
They're dedicated.
Dedicated. That whole alt-right 4chan, all of that. We exposed that in Hitler 3.0. They come from that community. They have trolling parties. I was in one recently. Rich know. I got hit by the box. It was, they trolled me to death. Fam, the shit real. It's crucial.
Oh, wow.
If you have anxiety issues, you might snap.
Wow.
So the trolling thing took off. We have people in the community who've shown that they have perfected the trolling game. Expertly. Okay? They read whatever Trolling for Dummies and they got this shit down pat. All right? We saw the trolling of Joe Button. Button is a troll. Academics is a troll. The Migos trolled him. All of this trolling stuff. The president of the United States of America was trolling another president about having a nuclear war with him.
Facts.
While everybody was just chilling, doing what they do.
LeVar Ball.
LeVar Ball.
Troll.
Master troll.
Master troll.
Showed y'all how to troll into power.
Yeah.
I showed you how to do this, son.
Yeah. Bossed up troll. Yeah.
Bossed up the trolling game.
Yeah.
But Trump did too. I mean,
Yeah.
Trump made, you know what I mean? He was, he's the troll.
But my question to you would be,
Don Trolleone.
Don Trolleone. Yes.
Don Trolleone.
Don Trolleone. Don Trolleone. That's who's running the country. The running the world. Don Trolleone.
Sacrifice a troll. Jesus. Jesus the troll got put on the cross. He always wanted to be Jesus. Jesus walks. So they put Jesus. He completed that. Because remember, Jesus walks is the beginning of the movie. Before Jesus, the Heru piece in the all red. That's the transformation. Then he's telling you power. Then he gives you Jesus. Then he gives sacrifice. And
now they're waiting for the return of Christ. Now they waiting for the return. So it was the second coming.
So he goes on the cross. They sacrifice him. He dies on the cross. Saint Pablo. He cancels the Torah, mid-Torah. He goes ahead. He's gone. The Kanye that we knew,
It's finished. Yeah.
so finito. We'll never meet that man again. So now everybody's waiting on the resurrection. He's going to come back while they wear his Adidas and what they wear his sandals. We're waiting for him to come back. It will be the resurrection of Jesus. It will be a new attribute, maybe a new name, but they're waiting for him to resurrect. But he completed a cycle in front of your eyes. He is seen as an icon, not only in the mumble rap circuit, he is one of their pillars.
Remember, he went against Hove.
He went against 50 and beat him. He went against gangsta rap.
But in Hove, remember the thing played out with Hove.
With Hove, yeah.
And at the Zenith. So
At
that
the
was,
Zenith,
We was watching the throne. So the royal court was even shifted.
Yeah,
So in this 44 year of hip hop, we saw the rise of what is known as the woke rapper. We saw the rise of what is known as the Renaissance.
Juxtaposed with mumble rap.
Juxtaposed with mumble rap.
We saw the resurgence of consciousness unlike you've ever seen it.
Facts. The most famous rapper who, at the end of 2017, after Eminem fell, okay, after we saw what he brought to the table, we could honestly say that this would be the top MC in the whole genre.
Right.
In his 44th year, when it's at the top and the pinnacle of what is known as American culture. Jay-Z, Hov,
With
Sean
444.
Carter comes out with a 444 album.
How you do that?
Said that he woke up from a dream one day. You know what I'm talking about? He woke up from Biggie's dream.
Whoa.
And he talks about dream
Woke up-
state
woke up from
all
Biggie's dream.
444. All right? I need a smoke break. He talks about it all in 444. So Jay comes off and says, I'm doing an album. First we see the 444 iconography pop up out of nowhere at a day and time where Brother Blue Pill was going through some things.
I'm going through some things.
You know what I'm talking about?
They're trying to burn me.
They were trying to crucify us. You know what I'm talking? They was coming for the Hayroo neck. You know what I mean? We were fighting Set.
Yeah.
We were having our Hayroo's journey in real time.
In real time.
And then 444 came out of nowhere.
All over the
Niggas had a
place.
seat for a minute. Hold on, let's sit down and wait this one out. What's going on here? They saw the fonts. They took a picture of it. They matched it. And it said that these are the fonts that Jay-Z used. Because remember, it didn't say Jay-Z first. It was just a call, 444.
No, they went and they found the IS. What's the shit on it?
The ISP address.
They found the ISP address came from Tidal,
Facts.
and that's how they like, yo,
That-
this got
yeah.
something to do with Jay-Z.
So Jay comes with an album. This album, I said that this was a woke album. I said that the people in the woke movement, and they're moving in numbers that might even rival yours at this point, they need a soundtrack. They have their soundtrack. They're building up their soundtrack. But I would take it even further to say that we're in the midst of a renaissance. It's bigger than the music. Okay? We're in a renaissance time right now, and this is what we're witnessing going forward inside of hip-hop culture. Lee Issa Rae with Hush Thing. You know what I'm talking about? The way that the clothes is that thing.
Yeah, because hold on, juxtapose again. None of this fits into mumble rap.
No.
These people are very intelligent, they're very conscious, and they're very millennial,
Very millennial.
right? At the
Very
same
digital.
time that this is going on over here, this is going on over here.
Quantum entanglement, because remember, it's not going on outside of self. Jay-Z is the father who wrote the code, because even if Puffy got the code, you need the application, you need the app that you're coding. You had the app, but he got killed, right? Mace carried it, and then Jay comes. DMX tries to come and take that shit out. Nah, we ain't on no flossy stuff. We ain't on the drug. We on some Devil Damien shit. People fell with that. They ran with that. But then Jay came with the, you know what I mean? He came with that thing. His code is still being played out.
And,
So
and hold
he's
on, and they
intricately
try to hit.
related to the trapper, rapper, mumble rappers. He's intricately related. He's more akin with the Migos.
Yeah.
Takeoff, left off of Bad and Bougie, than he is with maybe the conscious rapper like a common.
But does it look like he was left off of Malibu?
Does it look like he was left off of Bad and Bougie?
Does it look like I was left off?
Yeah.
Does it look like? Does it look like I was left
like
off
I said,
Bad and Bougie? Even with DMX,
What
how
you
they
talking
got
about?
him, they hit him with the possibility of doing 44 years for the tax at the same time that the album came out.
Right.
And when you add up DMX, it's 444. D, M is 13. Okay, so that's 4. And X in Hebrew is Tav, which is Tav is the 22nd letter. Okay, so that's 444.
Wow, look at bang.
So
bong.
Jay comes with a woke album. It's feeding what is known as this new resurgence, sort of a renaissance, misnomer black excellence, not misnomer black excellence, but the ingredients that's being put into this petri dish is the black excellence. Because you got to pay attention to hashtag movements and the energy and the kind of kinetic, the kinetic energy that hashtag movements have within themselves, not only in the quote unquote cyberspace internet realm, but what they translate to in the real world. You can get bodied by a hashtag movement. Steamroll.
Yeah.
Black Lives Matter is a hashtag movement. It's not an identifiable group. It is a hashtag movement that was started on the petri dish of the woke movement, which is Black Twitter. It's not the woke movement. It's Black Twitter. It's not Black Lives Matter. It's Black Twitter. That's where they're
magnetism.
And when they create the
Magnetic.
brand, that's like the blockchain, and the brand would be Bitcoin. You know what I mean? But it's a cryptocurrency. So the brand, the petri dish is Black Twitter. That's feeding
That's the
a lot of this
blockchain,
stuff. That's
right.
the blockchain.
Just creating all these other Bitcoin.
LBGT movements.
Stay woke as a Bitcoin.
Stay woke.
Or cryptocurrency. Black Lives Matter is a cryptocurrency.
Black Girl Magic.
Yeah, Black Girl Magic.
Black Girl
Melanin
Melanin
popping.
popping. That's
Black
a
Girls
Stay
Rock.
woke.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? All of the derivatives. You know what I mean?
Wow.
So in this cycle that we saw the My Son, Rise of
paying
My
for
Son with all of his freestyles. We saw the 10-minute freestyle with Black Thought that rearranged the DNA of the game damn near.
of hip hop.
We saw Loaded Lux get on and do his things. We saw the damn album by Kendrick.
Hold
the
on.
West Coast.
We seen the hoodies.
We seen the hoodies.
The young boy out of Philly.
Oh,
After Meek's
going
down.
in. Yep, after Meek went down.
You know, those two M's, those two 4-4s in his initials. He had a mixtape called 4.4 and all of that. But anyway, long story short, we have seen a resurgence of conscious hip hop, the narrative. You know, let's even put J. Cole in there. I don't know when that album came out, but it's still accredited. You know, For Your Eyes Only, 44-minute album, you know, talk about it. But we've seen all this 44, you know, Damn starting out with Blood. You know, we know Blood is 44, of course. And you know what I'm saying? So, David Banner with the God Box. Let's do the honorable mention.
Big
You know what I'm
Crit.
saying? Let's do Big Crit mention. Who else gets
Rhapsody.
mentioned? We got to mention Rhapsody. Of course, we got to mention Cambada and Black Magic with the Holy Ghost.
Which got voted on Complex.
Yeah,
as
we
one of
got
the top
voted on
albums.
Complex as one of the top 10 albums of the year, family.
Come on, man. That's big.
All right?
That's big.
Brother Rich and Cambada's album that dropped 2 weeks
Your
ago
brother.
Show 'em
made the
post behind
list.
you.
Huh?
Show 'em that post behind you.
Yeah, this right here.
That's
made
a
the
big
list
deal.
on Complex.
Yeah,
We're
that's
going to put it in the edits.
Okay?
Yeah, that's a big deal.
For the #1 album of the year. Real talk.
Yeah, that's big.
Understand what you're working with, family. Okay?
Rock had a meteoric.
Sci the Prince. No dope on Sundays. Got to get an honorable mention. Big Sean has to get an honorable mention. You feel me? That album had evidence of growth and consciousness in it. Rick Ross album had evidence of growth and consciousness in it.
Absolutely.
A.A. Rashid came out with Dog Food.
Dog Food.
You feel me? You got to get that album.
Growth and consciousness.
Planet Asia. You know, he had his albums out. There was more albums. I don't want to leave nobody out. Styles P and what's the dude?
Oh, and Fabulous.
No,
No,
Talib.
Talib Kweli.
Talib
Kweli.
Kweli. Okay, yeah.
Pharaoh came out with that mixtape.
Yeah, Young Pharaoh got a mixtape. This, you know, he got fire on there.
Joyner Lucas.
Joyner Lucas had his conscientious debut into society with the Not So Racist or Not Racist or whatever that jump off was called.
I'm not racist.
Yeah. You know, so
Okay,
there was tricklings of all of that. Again, like we said, juxtaposed at the same time the mumble rap was going on, you had highly intelligent hip hop.
Fact.
And
Full
science
balance.
also said hip hop is the most scientific art form in existence.
Fact.
They said they used the most vocabulary of all music genres. At the same time, the mumble rap was at its apex. Science said hip hop is noted for using the most vast vocabulary of any music genre in existence.
Facts.
Okay?
So the power's in the people's hands. It's always been. It always will be. Our project should be 1 million sold.
Period.
Each one. Period. Out the gate.
Out the gate.
Out the gate.
Out the
No
gate.
double because the numbers, I crunched them. The numbers show it's already there. Now we're going to get into Kaepernick.
That Blue Pill album coming.
Kaepernick, yes, 2018. We're going to open up that new cycle.
Chaos.
Kaepernick dominated not only sports. Kaepernick did not dominate quarterbacks of this year. Kaepernick did not dominate touchdowns thrown. Kaepernick did not dominate ESPN Sports. Kaepernick did not dominate First Take. Kaepernick dominated all of media. Kaepernick dominated the social,
All of media.
all of media. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Kaepernick dominated the narrative. One of the most effective, or one of the most loudest narrative, because it was going up against the religion in America. The Hey Rue, who dared? The one who wore 7, who dared to go up against the biggest religion in Americana, or America, which is the NFL.
Yeah,
The
and
Nephilim.
I'm not gonna let this conversation go without taking my credit, okay? Because I'm a Law 44 Lexus in 2012.
You're gonna put the panel in.
All right, yeah, we're gonna put the panel in. I not only explained that this was gonna take place in the future, but I told you the mechanics of how. By utilizing gematria, I explained to you that his name comes up to Prince of Peace. He has Christ energy. He's a Scorpio born on 11, I think 11, no, he's 11/11 or 11/3 like KT. But also his name meant sacrificial game bird. You know, he was going into New Orleans to play the Super Bowl in the home of Marie Laveau and them, right?
Facts.
Okay, with the San Francisco 49ers, the Friars, the Church of Rome, going against the Baltimore Ravens, who were the Moors. So you got Rome and the Moors battling in New Orleans, right?
Deep.
When the Saints come marching in the home of the Saints.
Deep.
Okay?
That's
Superdome.
deep.
The lights went out at 13:22.
Yep, the lights
Check
went
the
out.
message. Go do the research. That's 44. They split the thing in half. Beyonce was doing all of her Gemini rituals back then. Jupiter was Ashe,
I say.
right? Jupiter was in Gemini at the time that she was doing. She had the referee outfit on. She was splitting the stage with black and white. They had the lights went off in the stadium, right? Kaepernick had his return, his meteoric rise
comeback.
in the fourth quarter.
Facts.
Okay, he didn't win it.
If he had more time to
A
cook,
week later, okay, what happens? They get rid of the Pope. They get rid of Benedict the Moor,
Yeah.
and they brought the Jesuit in.
facts.
Stop playing with me. You dig what I'm saying? 4.4 years later, you have this man making his meteoric rise, getting crowned and christened in public as a Christ-like figure
Facts.
who went against Rome,
Facts. building
capitalism,
them up.
the religion, football, America's new religion.
Yep.
Stop playing with me.
That's deep. That's deep.
Y'all gonna pay me what I'm owed, man. And I want it in Bitcoins.
Yeah, only in bits.
Feel me?
Only in that crypto.
I'm not dying.
I'm not
to broke
accepting no
profit.
dollars.
Stop it.
So, you know,
So yeah, this was Kaepernick's
this was his,
prescribed time
Yes,
to
it
make
was.
his rise. He's on time.
indeed. You know what I mean?
Also talk about how his everybody started to take on his flow. Where at first everybody was against him, and even in sports, and then all of the players started to take the knee.
Well, one thing, you, as somebody who has truth versus falsehoods, and you know the truth, all you have to do is walk in that truth. Because eventually those who don't know the truth are going to be shown the truth.
Right.
So all of the people that were too cool to kneel in the beginning and just go along,
Right.
they had to be humbled. Remember, kneeling is bending of the knee. This is Game of Thrones.
Genuflection.
It's genuflection. You understand? It's genuflection. It's surrendering. It's the bending of the knee. The whole season of Game of Thrones was Jon Snow would not bend the knee.
Right.
He was like, I'm not bending the knee for the Dragon Queen.
Right.
Then he bent the knee, and what happened? They had sex. Incest. You know what I mean? So Kaepernick is, you know, he's basically stood his ground, and he's being seen as an Ali figure. He received the Muhammad Ali Award.
Before he bent, he made them bend to him.
To his
They
will.
bent to his will because he was that sturdy in his foundation. He didn't bend. You know what I'm saying? And then, of course, the 44 gave him the assist. Trump
Facts.
gave him the energy that he needed for it to become a hashtag movement.
Exactly.
Feel
So
me?
when he says his name, when
Yeah.
he calls him out, when he makes him, you know what I mean? The
Martyrdom. Yeah.
Huh?
Martyrdom.
Facts. So, you know, you're seeing this whole thing play out before your eyes with this whole Kaepernick thing.
Right.
He's the GQ Citizen of the Year.
With the afro.
With the frock. You know what I'm talking about?
And the all black on.
The all black on. You know what I mean? So, Blue Pill's prophecy once comes true. Another one, like Callus, and another one, you know. And we're seeing...
Like I said, it's all intricately tied to Beyonce. Okay, case in point,
Queen Bee.
she was in San Francisco for the 50th Super Bowl with the Black Panther motif, and she came out at the ESPN Awards and gave him the award. Did she not?
Yes, she did.
Come on, stop playing.
Yes, she did.
Let's keep it going.
So the next story that caught the attention of the people was the black identity extremists. Wow. All right. The FBI releases a memo targeting specific groups in the black conscious woke community. Named specifically in this memo were the Washita Moors, the RBG affiliated groups, Pan-African groups, and also members of the Islamic group, but not named. They didn't name organizations by name. So the memo,
Just genres.
huh?
They
They
named
just
them
did
by-
a broad stroke.
Yeah.
They just gave you genres and shit. Like no real breakdown of what it is. They utilized the stories of Gavin Long and Mika Johnson. Those are the two cop killers from Baton Rouge and the one in Dallas.
Right.
The mission, in their mission statement, both of them were ex-military. One of them was the one that they put in the picture with Griff and threw that out there. He was the one that actually gets killed by the drone, the land drone, the robot, the AI.
The AI.
Right. He's the first one that they take out with the AI, right?
Crazy.
So we in Fear of a Black and More Messiah, the first one, we're saying, listen, this is the play. This is who remember, they're in their mission statement, they were martyring a selective group of what we know as police brutality victims. All the man that got killed in Baton Rouge,
That was Sterling, right?
huh?
Wasn't that Alton Sterling?
Alton Sterling, Mike Brown, right? Was it Trayvon? There was a group of black men that they put into the realm of martyrdom. They shed blood in their names. Remember, they went, these two, Cosmos and Mika Johnson.
Eric Garner got martyred when the guy
Eric Garner got martyred
dude
in
from
New York.
Baltimore.
Yeah, when the dude from Baltimore came and bodied the two cops. Remember, there was in the car. The bodies that you never saw, the blood that miraculously didn't get on the windshield. Those two guys who they showed you their picture behind the green screen. Wow. Yeah. So these two right here are being used by the FBI to say, look, we got cop killers in this community, and this exactly. And remember, they lined it up. I already was showing. I'm like, yo, look. They say he scrolled RB on the wall. You know what I mean? Wow. And they just assumed that it was another word. I'm like, why couldn't it be Roy Biff? You know what I'm saying? Like, what are you talking about? How could you say it was another word that he didn't get out? They're using the art of suggestion. That whole thing was a you know what I mean? It was at a Black Lives Matter rally, and they never said Black Lives Matter did anything. And the next day, the dude with the blue vest was at the White House having lunch with Obama. So,
With the blue vest.
yeah, so this whole thing is tied into the fact that we're in an administration right now. This is the Trump administration. This is not the Obama administration. The Obama administration was friendly to Moors. The Obama administration was friendly to any kind of groups of consciousness that were trying to grow. Did anybody try to stop us? Did any federal jeeps pull up in front of any of these guys' lectures?
Nope.
Did anybody get intercepted in the airport on their way to talk to the people?
Not that you know of.
Not that I know of, I know, but not to the point where they held you.
Right.
So we're responsible for our own thing. But now they're saying, look, we're gonna interfere. So they're utilizing this whole scare campaign, and people are like, nah, it ain't nothing. I'm like, fam, that was a memo that went to law enforcement, and it goes to their people. You think you supposed to be? They waiting for your your reaction video. You know how niggas got that? They play the album reaction video. They waiting for niggas reaction video. Like it don't matter what you feel. They're showing you. Look,
Policy.
not only did we target, we was bodying niggas with no target. All of those cop killers of every day, we clapping niggas for no reason. Now we're showing you. Look, we putting forth a memo to say we want to have. We're backing up reason for coming after certain individuals. This is part of their directive. You remember, this is policy within the rule of this new White House and their rule of law, which is their, you know what I'm saying? So you got Moors running into court thinking that they're in a friendly environment and that this administration is not crusading, and they're telling you specifically, look, we're after the black Muslim. The Islamicized radicals, we watched those other guys up. So all of this stuff came, it was so much reports that I picked up. Governor Christie put out something in 2016 on the Moors, detailed.
I'm sorry, did y'all touch on Erica Garner?
Yes, we rest in peace. Yeah. Remember, this buildup was taking place throughout the years. And they were targeting certain individuals. And we talked about this throughout the years. We spoke of it when it happened. You know what I'm saying?
Facts.
So this is where we're at. 2017 will be the year that it saw that they put forth a policy called Black Identity Extremists that nobody has explained or really completely broken down, because a lot of people were just doing videos based off of the clip that got put out. And then Jeff Sessions got questioned about it, and he act like he ain't seen none of your niggas' videos. He's like, I don't know what you're talking about. You know what I'm saying?
Like,
800, there was 800 people with a Black Identity Extremist video, and like a month later they was interviewing. They're like, yo, have you ever heard of this? He was like, nah, I don't know what the fuck you talking about. I'm like, wow. They
like,
spinning you.
Ain't
so
we here
hard.
talking about Russia?
Yeah. What about Russia? I got my talking points for that. So the Southern Poverty Law Center is on niggas' heels. You know what I'm saying? What they don't want you to talk about, what they don't want you to spread, what they don't want you to teach the people about, what they don't want you to keep coming to them and telling them and scaring them about is the word sovereignty. Case in point, Trump, there's an article that says Trump mentioned sovereignty 21 times in a speech heralding new American worldview. They actually changed, they have a new American worldview. It's all about white sovereignty. And they're telling you, listen, I need you to stop talking about that sovereignty talk. Because we've been waiting for some receipts and we don't see no sovereignty. So they're like, we don't even want to hear that shit. So they're talking it. You can't talk it. Meanwhile, they got our people enslaved in Libya. They don't got no sovereignty. You see what they're doing to them? Wow. And nobody can go and help them because they said what? These niggas is refugees. They was trying to go across the border anyway. So they don't got no sovereignty. There's no flag. Everybody is like, yo, go and save them. Niggas is like, they not flagging. Are they red or blue?
Who they with?
Yo, if they had one of the videos and the nigga threw the crip up, if they were sure one of them doing the thing like OG Genesis.
That's hilarious.
Nah, it would have been a response though. It'd have been war. Where's your flag? What set you playing? What's your gang? That's it. That's that gang had a great year.
They're saying it.
Gang had a great year.
It culminated in Tekashi 6ix9ine's little Unified the Hood video. So yeah, definitely.
Facts.
Yeah, right on Fulton. It was Fulton and of course with Boys and Girls when they shot that at.
You gotta get in there with the double suit with the two sides shit, the red and blue with the purple.
But I see. Think of the only thing about that is that, you know, what they're saying is not matching up to what we're seeing.
Activity,
you know what I'm saying?
right.
So you're seeing unity, but the verbiage is.
You come from that world, brother.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We gotta be real about it. They wooing and bang banging, like they doing gang shit. They going in.
Yeah,
They're tapping into a
It's-
primal energy that existed in New York that's being threatened of being erased. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They're tapping into something. They are an energy source that can be redirected into a way better situation, a way better reality, because they are going to be the targets that these people are practicing to start taking down.
Right, you're right, bro. Yeah.
And these companies are bankrolling the proliferation and the gremlinization of a lower class of society that they just deemed the fourth permanent underclass. So if any policy was ever to pass to trim your motherfucking losses in order to save the bottom line, you go first.
Facts.
You're in the slaughterhouse line first, man.
That's what that tax code is.
Look at what the tax code say. We gonna declare all of you niggas to be impoverished refugees. So they don't want people to start talking about sovereignty. There's a war taking place on multiple levels, 3 levels. The Moors had some of this could have been their worst year.
Worse.
Wow. You know what I'm saying? Based off of the missed opportunities that have been presented to them on multiple occasions at every single juncture. They have the opportunity to Pat Huey.
They get the bronze Pat Huey award.
You know where? But you know who had a mega year
Fumbled
today?
the bag.
That's who had a mega year. Infowars.
Yeah, right? Exactly. You know what I mean? So at a time, going back to what I'm saying, the time that we've been defeated, all of the times that point to the history that we all can find, it all speaks of a similar reality. It all speaks of a similar formula. That formula was infighting. That formula was the weak chain, the weak links in the chain. That was always the formula. The formula was when you was banging on your other brother, they came in and washed both of you.
That's it.
That was that's the formula that has worked every single time. That's the secret sauce. So
it's happening right now. Umar,
listen.
And Tariq.
Well, listen.
There you go. Set
you
up.
know what I mean?
2018. Welcome to 2018.
That's how they start their year.
This happened a year before. This fracturing has taken place again. It happened a year ago with the brother. To the day.
To the day.
Cycle-wise, we're here doing a year review on the cycle. I'm saying we didn't get to that yet. That's at the end. But that was a yearly cycle damn near.
A yearly cycle. Deep.
You know what I'm saying?
We got 10 more minutes, y'all.
So, all I'm saying is there's a medieval revival. The medieval revival is everywhere you turn around. They have an article talk about racism, medievalism, and the white supremacists of Charlottesville. I told you, this is the wave that they're going on. It's the antithesis to all of the movements and what they're on. The far right's new fascination with the Middle Ages, the fascination with Game of Thrones. Eastern European policies are swinging to the right. America's flat earth movement appears to be growing. Flat earth movement, controversial conspiracy theory is booming in the U.S. A vile love affair, right-wing nationalism in the Middle Ages. So the Middle Ages is the Moorish realm. The Middle Ages is the Crusades. The Middle Ages is the Holy War. The Middle Ages is the rise of the Goths, the Visigoths and the Ostrogoths, and the Reconquista and the Inquisition. But it's also the golden age of the Moors. You know what I'm saying? But it's also the golden eras. So they're tapping into some shit where they're like, yo, we about to bring this shit back to because the medieval is the dark ages. You understand? So the flat earth shit.
You cut the lights off you cut the lights on the electric highway. The people is back in the dark ages. You cut the internet off.
Facts.
They back in the dark ages.
While simultaneously, to show you the quantum entanglement, while simultaneously niggas are going forward into the future. While everything is going digital and people are tapping into some future shit, they still on Hendrix. You know what I'm saying? It's an entanglement.
Wow.
So the flat earth conversation, I get it. The Truman Show, I love it, right? All I'm saying is it's in alignment with a lot of medieval revival themes and memes. And although it gained fraction this year, it did it on the tails of other things that had that theme, like Game of Thrones, being one of the most watched TV shows on TV at any time. All right, that is medieval themes that got niggas thinking about dragons and whatnot, royalty, monarchy. All of this means something. This is in an alignment with what our people are waking up to. Because when you learn about the Moors, you're waking up to medieval. You're fascinated with the Middle Ages. You're fascinated with all of that as well. Where do you put yourself in the story is the question. Because I'm winning in the story. We good in the story. And that's what people are not real. But this shit is, it's not. Slavery is in Libya. That's medieval. You feel me? So, the fall of black media. That was one of the stories that was very prominent. Okay? The fall of black media. The fall of black conscious platforms. Okay? The decline that has taken place in the community, numbers-wise, viewership-wise, and people paying attention and taking it serious-wise. You feel me? Where people show up like we show up to World Star. For the shits. TV One suspends morning news shows, News One Now. PBS suspends Tavis Smiley following sexual misconduct investigation. Dick Gregory, the beloved ancestor, makes transition. Our true black media. The father of that whole, one of the fathers of that. The foundation, yeah, we wanted to hear Dick Gregory news. He summed it up in about an hour. He took about, okay, you know what I'm saying? You couldn't watch 1 month worth of news to make up for that hour that he gave you.
Yeah.
Black Authority tweeted, the old black media is dead and not a moment too soon. They said it was due to budget cuts and financial problems. Buck dancing doesn't pay like it used to. The new black media isn't having that problem. We represent the people. So black media is dying, it's going out the way, but on the rise, you have a new form of media called new media. You have the platforms. Not only do you have the platforms, you have the personalities. You understand? Currently, one of the biggest news stories in the modern day consciousness or in modern day black America is the fact that 3 giants in black media are clashing. 3 black giants in black, let alone conscious community, 3 black giants in media. When we don't have any more rolling, everybody was like, you know what, I'm good. I'm going to just rely on Moise and them. I'm going to just rely on Umar when he gets on the Breakfast Club. I'm going to just set my alarm clock and wait for my guy Tyreek to pull up with another movie, right? Media conglomerates, meaning that each one of their followings are solution, times 3, finesse times 3. You know what I'm talking about? Because each party, because this is a numbers game now. This is Barty, nigga. This is a numbers game.
Right, let's do it. Education, economics,
Facts.
entertainment.
Facts.
All 3 of them represent vital industries.
Facts.
Not in conscious America.
Nope.
In black America.
Transcend
quote unquote. That transcends consciousness.
Facts.
Okay?
Boxing out.
Independent industries.
Facts. You understand? So, we are basically in the throes of industry battle, a war of personalities,
Right.
a mudslinging contest, a besmirching campaign, and the fact that the potential, because remember, we also have to assess the potential and lost potential.
Right. The gain potential versus lost potential.
For everybody that always likes to root, I'm a mathematician. I have to assess the 2. So I'm like, yo, what if all of them had popped up in a video today towards the end of the year, and they was all just chilling? Like, you know what, brother? I got you on your case. I got you. You know what I mean? Check this out. I got you on your next move. You know, not to play, kumbaya-ish. I'm just giving you a vision of what the future has to look like versus what it looks like these days.
King's dream, not biggest dream.
You understand? So
King's dream.
our people are fragmented to a degree where by the end of 2017 versus how they started in 2017, they're more fractured.
Wow.
In my humble opinion, based off of many of the incidents that have taken place over the course of a year, the 2017 calendar year. People can't even say, oh, and look at this thing and be like, oh my goodness, no, this is things followed up to this. You know what I mean?
It was the culmination of a lot of fuck shit that took place this year.
Yeah.
When we talk about code, when we talk about being on code, when we talking about following a certain kind of value system and a certain kind of street code, right? There was attempted to be introduced into the community on different occasions. You know, we'll find ourselves in a better place. But until then, because keep in mind, this isn't even, you gotta take it, you gotta really look at things. Even in a genre where multi-millionaires exist, all the way down to dudes that don't got no bread. We're talking about the rap industry. You have not even seen rappers go in on each other the way that they go in on each other in this community. And I'm not just talking about this incident that everybody's talking about. I'm talking about since 2008.
You ain't seen it.
You have not seen it.
50 be trolling. 50 be trolling Diddy, but that hasn't even turned into nothing this, like, it's just sub-bass. It's like so subterranean. It's so low that you like, God damn.
Right.
You
So,
feel
yeah.
me? You niggas is catty. And this what you people show up for in droves? This what you fuck with. You know what I'm saying? I was on the stream last night.
I was too. Everybody was chilling. Everybody pulled up.
Yeah, everybody pulled up, but I couldn't believe what I was seeing. And then, you know, I just, you know, there's a lot of what I can't believe, but I get it. Because, like I said, salt and sugar, you know what I'm saying? Like, this is what runs the society. And this eagerness or this insistence that only one person could be the dominant voice in this quote-unquote community, you feel me?
Yeah, what's that about?
Screaming outside of the window, and then you want to come inside and scream inside of the house. This shit is crazy.
I mean, people are not respecting the age we're in. I mean, that was more Piscean, you know. It was, the whole one concept. You know, in the age of Aquarius, it's not. We're not dealing with that. You're dealing with a situation where it's the age of Ultron. You know,
Right.
Avengers all on deck. Everybody activate your wonder powers.
Days of
What
Voltron.
what was the movie just came out with the Justice League? You know,
The Justice
the
League.
age of Voltron. All the, it's really wonder powers activate. People have to really put your contribution inside this pot, stir this ancestral pot, and activate. All this set tripping and this tribalism based upon me. You know, you just imagine if you looked at each of these leaderships or these posters of power, and all of their fans were cultivated ultimately to culminate to form Voltron. What? Like just in our family tree alone, just if you took all of our family trees on IG, all of our followers, all of our, you know what I'm saying, you start to, and everybody is cultivating the collective audience for the culminating salute.
Right.
It's unstoppable, you know, and the fact that we're not cultivating that back into what you were saying about social equity, cryptocurrency, economic empowerment, family empowerment, really activating the technology of RBG, because RBG is a technology, you know, and applying that is we have to hold each other to a power standard, you know, and like you said the word abundant. When I hear that word abundant, I get the spirit of the Most High through our ancestors, because we are abundant. The cosmos is abundant. The planet is abundant. Your cells are abundant. Your DNA is abundant. Black matter, these things, everything is abundant. It's just abundantness. And the nerve of us not utilizing the culminating power and the unifying force of our abundance. When you talk about a Tariq Nasheed abundant mind and a Dr. Umar abundant mind and a Dr. Boyce watching, woo, that's like can you imagine? Yes, brother, I don't want to be in a bigger dream no more. I want to be in the king's dream, man, and make manifest. Crowned and knighted.
Wakanda.
Come on, I don't want to even disrespect my brother Red by saying his kumbaya. No, activate his kumbaya. We have never walked into the kumbaya. We don't even know. We need to sit like Brett Bruce said in the kumbaya. Put our feet planted in the kumbaya. Breathe and inhale, exhale in the kumbaya as one force.
What you gonna move with that?
Come on, family.
We're gonna leave these shells without ever knowing.
Come on, I dare you to be great. I dare you to be better. This next 7 days in 2018, I dare you to be your goddess self. I dare you to be your moral power self. I dare you to be your comedic self. I dare you to be your Hebrew self. I dare you to be your RPG technology self. I dare you to get all the economic, cryptocurrency, subterranean, metaphysical, extracurricular, extraterrestrial, money, magic, black power that you can activate, family. Come on.
Facts.
Playtime's over.
What he said?
Age of Ultron, family. Black Panther's coming in the next 30 days.
How about that?
How you gonna activate your Black Panther brother and sister? Wakanda, we are Wakanda. We are the united body of Wakanda.
Show that hoodie, blue.
Oh yeah.
Show that hoodie.
No. We Wakanda. We got the flag and all that.
Come on, Blue.
We got Wakanda.
Come on, baby.
You know what I'm saying? Paranormal.
Come on. That's right.
We want to fly this flag. We do not want it to be an image on a shirt.
Come on.
I mean,
okay?
we live in a day and time when we have so much wealth amongst us. And the reason why individuals are comfortable with treating each other the way that they do is because I don't think that we've realized our potential, 1% of it. We don't see the fruits of our labor. Wow. We don't know that ye are rich. And if we work together, we're going to be richer. You know what I mean? As working together.
No pun.
The collaboration. You know what I'm saying? And not putting petty things in the middle of our business endeavors or our collaborations and what we bring to the table as creatives. So it's a lot of responsibility on behalf of the community to, just experience what it is that they want to experience. Some people want to see clashes. Some people want to see people together. Some people want to see individuals. Wow. You know what I mean? Right. Everybody has the option to, you know what I mean, to get into whatever it is that they have to get into.
Right. Because there's some people that want to see healing. Right. They want to see a healing community. Right. Mm-hmm. You know, I'm at the place in my life where I want to know what living in the earth ship feels like. I want to know what about these geodetic domes. You know what I'm saying? Me too. I want to respond to what I saw this past cycle with these hurricanes to say, oh, well, these homes are hurricane resistant. Right. Mm-hmm. Right. Is this a solution? Right. You know what I mean? Can we build this healing community in these islands that are now ravaged to say, well, these particular abodes are hurricane proof and some of them are earthquake proof as well. Is this the answer? Because there's always an answer. There's nothing that the universe is throwing at us that makes us less than. Right. You feel me?
Facts.
Everything is to make us better than. Everything is for the upgrade. Everything is for the come up.
Yeah, it's how you utilize it.
As engineers, are we looking at it that particular way? Are these Negroes comfortable with where they're at and they don't want to move forward? Because there are a lot of people, at least the ones that I'm coming into contact with, they're not comfortable with being comfortable. Yeah, they want something else.
They're ready to go.
They want to live this real time. Real time. You know what I'm saying? They want sustainable living. They want sustainable eating. Yeah. You feel me? They want to release themselves from the stress. They want to get back to living.
Yeah. And the technology that's available right now
supports
and the options that are available right now supports that.
Supports that.
And the reality that we could create supports that. So we're at a great time. All of the brothers and sisters, I think it's 1,000 right now. If we all ready to make a move right now, we would find our solution. If 100 of us was ready to move right now, we would find our solution, because your solution ain't nothing like anybody else's. You know what I'm saying? Know that you are definitely ready to take a step in a better direction, That's how we have to start this cycle. We have to start this cycle willing to do something different this time.
salute.
We got to start this cycle willing to take a risk and to say, you know what? I'm gonna bet on myself. You feel me? I'm gonna bet on myself this time around. I'm gonna tap into my skill or my talent, and I'm gonna fund it. Now, when I got the resources
Right.
where I could do it, I'm not gonna be a starving artist. I'm gonna bankroll the artist when I got the funds, when I have the availability to do it.
come on.
You know what I'm saying? And I'm gonna take me out of this hole.
I love it, brother. Salute.
And then I'm going to utilize my power to take others out of that hole. And if we think about that as a community and not just some spectators who show up when it's some tea to sip, I don't care if it's brewing hot or if it's some cold tea. You niggas love your iced tea as well. You're turning for some old shit. So we gotta, that's what I'm saying, because I was talking about the other aspect of media, because you turn up to the Chatty Patty, you turn up to the gossip channels, you turn up and listen to Wendy, you want to go to the Breakfast Club, Ricky Smiley, you want your comedy, you want your tea, you want all of these other things, but you don't want some real you don't want that hard motherfucking coffee with no milk in it. You don't want that straight black, you don't want that Cuban talk, right? You don't want that. You don't want that espresso with no milk in it. That's when you come in and get this real shit, this real information, this 9-point, this good, this sticky dog food. You feel me?
It's non-feel good.
This non-feel good. This not GMO. This might be the bitters
The bitters. Ooh, I love
that you got to take. This might be the wormwood, the bitters,
Detox.
the
Yeah.
detox.
Yeah.
But all we have to do is say, yo, we're ready to do something different, and we got it. This year is going to be a breakout year. This year is going to be an explosive year.
I feel
this
it.
year is going to see because remember, the lights are once again on the community. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
The lights are on. And
It's
the
bright.
stadium, yeah. There's some bright lights on right now,
Bright light,
and
bright
everybody is looking. So why don't we give them something to look at? Why don't we give them creativity? Why don't we give them options? Why don't we give them
Right.
solutions? Why don't we give them these buildings that everybody say that they own, and all of this other stuff that people claim that they're, you know what I'm saying, owners of, and show them ownership? Why don't we balance it out? Because mumble rap could survive alongside conscious woke rap.
It's been proven. It's been shown. Yeah. It's been shown.
So there's a genre of consciousness that's becoming trap consciousness, mumble consciousness. You have to, you know what I mean? It been cooked up on a petri dish. Just accept it.
Allow it to
Well,
be.
I want to close it out with everybody telling me, what did you learn? You know, life is about growth, and no matter how intelligent we are, we continue to learn every single year of our lives. That's the beauty about life. What did each one of you learn personally in 2017 that you maybe wasn't too sure of, or 2017 just reiterated what you already knew? But what was your biggest lesson in 2017 personally? Don't tell me nothing about the community. I'm talking about you.
Okay, I open it up. My personal revelation for this year, was complete compassion for my loved ones not getting it. Right, like, and don't have no judgment. Just you know what I mean. They don't, you know, I'm compassionate. They don't get it, and it's okay. Like, I think it's the first year I actually said it's okay. I think it was probably a blockage in my subconscious somewhere. But like, I think this is the year I just kind of really let go. Yeah, and because of that result, I was able to just be so much successful with so many things I was trying to work on doing personally. I realized that was a big blockage. You know what I'm saying? There were lines on that heaviness. Just let it go, you know?
I had a similar experience. You know what I'm saying? Because I think I shared this. I found myself, and I reminded myself not to be in judgment. I found myself mentally judging people that I looked at. Like, damn, that nigga look crazy. Why the nigga got green hair? You know what I mean? I found myself saying things, and I'd be the same person to turn around on the train and be like, red, blue? Which one of you? Well, fuck with this shit. Every time it was happening. And it reset my button that I was like, yo.
Wow.
remind yourself what you're saying is let people be different. That's what my father had told me and released me out of, you know what I'm saying, this
Bondage.
judgment. You know what I'm saying? So I had to remind myself, and Jewel Pookrum was the one that really instilled in us to don't be in the prison of judgment. You know what I'm saying?
Woo.
So, you know, all through the year I found myself just looking at crazy shit, people in situations and instances, and be like, yo, just let it be. It's cool, let it be. It's 7 billion. You're not gonna reach everybody, and everybody has their time. So the process, you know, trust their process. I don't know if I get two, but there's one more that you know, that this year was really about me reminding myself to trust my voice. You know what I'm saying? I had a my there's a system called what is it? The human. Anyway, long story short, there's a particular system that goes very deep and intricate into human design, into explaining to you who you are and what your powers are. You know,
Facts.
because of me, my power is located in my throat. That my power is my voice. You know what I'm saying? So I had to really get into speaking my truth. And I've held a lot of things back because I didn't think that it was going to be accepted in public. I didn't know how it was going to be received.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I have the reflex motion of being around people who I love and look up to, look at me like I was crazy when I was 5 years ahead of myself, because I'm always ahead of the curve. So I'm always saying some shit to people that they're not ready for. And then when it happens, they come back and then I'm already through. You know what I'm saying? I'm on to the next one.
On to
So
the next.
I can't even receive their acknowledgement because I'm like, but I don't hold it personal. But now I just started saying more and more, like, look, when something hits you, you got to speak on it. You feel me? Like, you got to hear yourself saying these things and be cool with that. Be firm with it. You know what I'm saying? And allow yourself the freedom of expression. And that's more so how I'm seeing my prophecies. You know, I'm speaking things into existence because I'm really feeling myself. I'm really confident in what I'm saying. I'm not doing it for nobody per se. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But so, you know what I mean? That's why I'm still humble with it. I don't be going crazy and shit.
You trusting your voice.
I do tell people that, you know, if they had a Time magazine and it was like Man of the Year, what have you, it would be the Law 44. And I'm going to stand on that. I'm not going to go crazy with it, but from the top to the bottom,
Affirm.
everything that I've showed you and told you,
Came into existence.
dealing with these 44s coming to existence, you've seen it manifest itself. Like I said, it existed. It's an algorithm. It is the blockchain. It's the cosmic blockchain. So everything that has came out of that blockchain, you know, in the crypto cosmic world that we live in, this hologram is tagged with 44. And I've showed how, you know, we're going to weave it all together. So there's more projects in 2018 that's going to come dealing with, you know, the algorithm and more predictions. And I'm going to speak about more UFOs and all of that good stuff. More, you know, we're going to do something different with the retreats, but, you know what I'm saying, we're going to get people back into nature. We're going to get people off the grid, you know what I'm saying, to get back into the sustainable aspect so we could become part of the thing that we it's only right that we benefit from. You know what I'm saying?
That's right.
Permaculture, you know what I'm saying? Reusable this, reusable that, eco-green this, the smart cities, this, all this stuff, man. It's a dynamic, wonderful future that awaits us. You know what I'm saying? Don't be in no gloom, none of that. Like, knock all of that out the box. There's nothing gloomy in your forecast, family. There's only sunny days ahead. And that's why I want us
like
to
the Sesame
be.
Street song.
Yeah.
Sunny days,
Nah,
chasing the clouds away.
What's up, guys?
This year was a real
Right.
challenging year for me. You know, I learned the power of, you know, isolation and solidarity. You know what I mean? Like just being in, you know, getting to know self and being in that place where, you know, you're not everywhere and all over the place. You're just focusing on you. You know what I mean? And I also had situations that even I sat in the, you know, when you go and do the steam and you got to sit on them rocks, shit get hot. You know what I mean? I sat in the steam. You know what I mean? I was able to sit in situations where them hot rocks were forcing certain toxins out.
Wow.
You know what I mean? And I understood the power of the mind. You know what I'm saying? I understood the power of being able to, you know, create your own reality and learning from all lessons that are being presented before you. Because it's not about what happens, it's what did you learn from it? What was the lesson that you learned? And how can you apply that to, you know, anything that you do in the future? So this year, you know, was also, like Blue was saying, it was a solidification of the power of the word in many different situations. One with the Scorpion King, you know what I mean, with the success of putting out a project that was born out of, you know, my mind, was born out of my heart, was born out of my creativity, my talent, my pen. You know what I'm saying? But born in times where, you know, I might have been on a train trying to figure out where to get something, when I'm gonna get something to eat. Yo, what time am I gonna eat? Like, you know what I'm saying? Trying to figure out, you know, and sometimes you have to go into these dark, deep places, these abyss, especially as a creator, to pull out the kind of stuff that we're pulling out.
Yeah.
And I love it sometimes, you know what I mean? And to be shown appreciation and to finally get it out and you know, have it manifest. Because a lot of things that I talked about manifested throughout the year.
Wow.
A lot of shit that I rhymed about, you know, I rhymed about Trump being, now I'm living like Trump. That was way before he was president. I rapped about Cardi B, you know what I'm saying? Anybody I put in my rhymes and I see them coming up, it's just like, you know, and I see things that I rapped about and I talked about, like just evolving. It does something good to me. You know what I mean? Like, to know that you got the power of the word, that's a gift.
To speak it into.
That's a gift. And then the Fear of a Blackamoor Messiah, all of those certifications that I kept getting. It's like getting certifications in the mail. You just keep getting degrees. Like when your prophecies be coming through.
Yeah.
The BIE, that shit, niggas should have threw a party for the God. That should have been a little, you know what I mean? You know. Cause that was, you know what I mean? I built that up.
Yeah, he was hitting on it.
Yeah.
I built that up. I laid the bricks down. I prepared the people. That's my job. I save lives.
Daily.
You know what I'm saying? Daily?
Daily.
Yeah. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
But,
Sorry, Umar, you can't,
you know.
That's not a one-seater.
No,
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? That ain't a one-seater, baby. It's a monster truck. And I had to give honorable mention to the platforms that are rising up. I didn't want to forget that. You know, I got to give honorable mention to Young Pharaoh, Urban X, UGR. We're seeing steady climbing, increases in numbers, meteoric rises. You know what I mean? In this calendar year. And there are there's other.
You got more numbers than Revolt. How about that?
Revolt numbers ain't that big.
How about that?
How about that though? Like that. So anyway,
Shit crazy.
yeah.
Hold on, but they gave Buttons $5 million. We gonna have to talk.
He said it ain't true. Nah, he said it ain't true. He said it ain't true.
We gonna have to talk.
So, you know, this year is promising. This year is going to be, you know, this year I'm going to be focusing more so on, you know, the teamwork. After spending a lot of time with self, you know what I mean? Now I could, you know, bring other people within the cipher. Like I keep a very small circle, bro. Yeah. People may think I'm all over the place, but as Blue know, and I keep a regiment. I'm always around my father. I'm always around my son. You know what I mean?
You're laser. Yeah.
Huh?
You're laser. You focus. Yeah.
Well, you know, because I'm married to this thing called consciousness.
Yes. Yeah.
You understand?
Yeah.
This is my wife.
Yeah.
Like when this becomes your life, like you know what I mean? I don't know if people realize it. There's a spirit. There's a for all of my spiritualists out there. Well, goddamn it, please identify what's the name of this spirit or the entity that governs consciousness, because it dishes out glasses of karma on a regular, free shots for every shot, and I watch it work over the years. I've been here longer than most people been woke, times 3. You know what I mean? I've been here a very long time. I've seen them come and go. I've seen a lot of things to the point where I don't just see it right now. I can see in color. You just see the future. and we speak about it, and we speak about it with conviction, and we speak about it not from a place of theory, but from a place of knowing. Go and research the attributes of a true Heru. He is one who have come back from the future to prepare
future
you
vision,
for.
right.
You know what I'm saying? That's the future
what it's
vision.
about.
That's the hawk vision. That's the
right.
prophecies.
Right.
So the display of that and not wanting, you know what I mean, ticker tape parades, because it's really me just showing me the power of me. And then when you're able to share it with the world, that's the bonus. That's the shit. That's the Band-Aid for the pain of what it takes to go through to do this thing. I don't think y'all understand. I said that there's a deity and an entity that governs this whole realm because it puts people in the places that it wants to put them in.
Wow.
There's a certain kind of burning that you got it. There's a certain kind of pressure. There's a certain kind of piousness. There's a certain kind of suffrage. There's a certain kind of all kind of things dealing with you being in your shadow self, not your lower self, but your shadow self, feeling adverse pain and adversity. And that's where the gems are. That's where the diamonds are. Remember, you're mining. You're going to the depths of the mountain. You're digging deep to get the riches. You know, it's not on the surface. You got to go in. So people don't understand me standing on 125th Street and I'm carrying a cross as a table. That's me. That's how I'm able to tap into this fire. That's how I'm able to mine into who I am. Living through this quote unquote cross carrying, but at the same time, I'm doing monumental works in multiple dimensions. People come back from the dream realm and be like, my man, do you know what you doing over there on Saturn? Do you know who you niggas are in Sirius B? I get the notifications in the morning in the text messages. They coming from astral realms like, family, we gotta talk. Let's have a daiquiri. You know what I mean? Because they see you popping
over there.
Yeah, they see the reality. They see the future. So
y'all know what we talking about.
So you gotta remember, Truman Show. You're living out this story. This is a mythos. You're Peter Parker and Spider-Man. You're Clark Kent and Superman at the same damn time. Quantum entanglement. So you're living a pious life. Remember, when that nigga take off the glasses, he does not remember anything after that. You go to sleep and some nights you don't even know what you went and did. You just wake up like this. What the fuck? You might got bruises on you or something.
Real.
Facts.
Yeah.
When your video is being played in Czechoslovakia, you're chilling, eating the ramen, the green ramen noodles with the, you know what I'm saying? With the good SupaNova greens.
Zucchini.
Your video is doing business and getting busy in other time zones in front of thousands of people.
Powerful, bro.
If you going viral and you watching your numbers go up, right?
Come on.
So what kind of spirituality is attached to that? What kind of magic is attached to that? Can that be attributed to a superhero's life?
Yes.
Because when Peter Parker goes to sleep, he becomes a Nazi. He becomes this superhero. He's doing things that this regular guy who is just a reporter, right? Somebody who's telling the news, a correspondent.
He put that red and blue suit on.
He put that red and blue on.
He's on the web.
He works, and Daily Bugle pays him peanuts. You know what I'm saying? The old man with the gray hair in the planet, the globe. Harlem World, like the globe.
Harlem World.
Right? So, this Clark Kent, remember, Kal, Amor, came to the earth. He's God playing human and having an awkward time being human. I can relate. You understand? So there's a magic that is taking place with the second screen and with this real world, with cyberspace and this realm we live in. Go and study the Tetrad. Go and study, what's the book, The Village?
The Global Village.
The Global Village.
Matthew
and get
McCullough.
further into it.
Right.
But what is taking place with these
Shout out to
platforms,
Buddha Clinks.
the amount of people that these platforms are reaching, the amount of people that these platforms are influencing. Platforms have their heydays. They have their ebb and flow. You have to allow newer platforms to come up. So there are many platforms that are out here. I was mentioning the platforms that had meteoric rises and upward trends this year. That's who I'm identifying with. You know what I'm saying? So we have to understand the power that the platforms have.
Oh, yeah,
200,000 subscribers. When you really think about what the future, because I'm studying the future. I'm in the future.
Wait, yeah. Shout out to Sai.
Shout out to Sarnetta, of course.
Sai kept a steady
Shout out to
pace.
Baba TV, of course,
Baba.
doing monumental numbers. They had an upward rise this year as well. Baba TV fire every time. Forgot to mention Urban X, KT the Austria and his building up of his channel. Even our channel, we've been building it up throughout the year.
Power. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We crawling, Phil T. Marlin, holla, but listen, it's the build up. Throughout, 18 is gonna be retardo. Yeah. So we come back into the race. We bring the platform back into its prominence, and we do what needs to be done because we have to fill the gaps, and gaps are being made right in front of our eyes. Right now. Right in front of our eyes. Alt, delete, control, and all of that stuff. Right before our eyes. So we want to say.
Let me close it out by telling the people, make sure you sign up to Patreon, patreon.com/blackmagic363, and support this channel. Make sure we're going to keep this channel going regardless of what goes on with net neutrality or YouTube or whoever. Things are going on behind the scenes, documentaries, websites, we're stepping up as far as technology. So I want to thank for you guys for all the support and love throughout the year. It's now December 31st, so I guess the next time I will see y'all will be 2018.
Woo,
we are we signing out. We signing out.
Peace to the family.
We see you 2018, family.
All right.
Yeah.
Sure that you holler.
Scorpion King, Apparel Normal.
Yeah, get that Scorpion
Super
merch.
Mega Greens.
Super Mega.
2018
Come
family.
We got 3
Right.
business entities right here.
Come on, we here, man.
Yeah.
You want to get in, give this on TV.
Give him the
Oh, the Holy, go to Cam. Oh, make sure
Holy
you go
Ghost.
to CamBottomMusic.com. Get the deluxe package of the Holy Ghost, behind the scenes footage, the in-studio sessions with me and Cam Bada, lyric videos for every track on the album. I mean, it's 4 hours. I think it's about 3-4 hours worth of footage on the DVD.
Yeah,
So you get a lot
That's
for your
content.
money.
Yeah, that's
a lot of
content.
content.
Say that content. That's exclusive.
And on that note, family, we signing
Love and
out.
light to the family.
We see
Thank
you.
y'all for being up. This
Yeah.
time, man. Rocking with us.
See you in 2018, family.
Yeah.
Peace.
Peace. Man.